Osiris.
Hey, this is Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters, and this podcast is part of the Osiris podcast family. Osiris is a growing community of music and culture podcasts connecting music fans with conversation, commentary, and music. Osiris works in partnership with Relics. Check them out for all kinds of new music, news, and information.
Osiris.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Make it so. Do it.
We were gonna have a chill weekend this weekend, but Blaze showed up.
Apple.
God damn it.
Apple.
We're just
Still not chill now,
everything.
Wait,
Next week is
everybody
not
hang
chill
on a second.
weekend. Next
I need to
weekend?
tell Apple something.
What? I need to put my
Oh,
headphones
wait, no,
on.
no.
I need you to put your headphones on. But second, there is never going to be another chill weekend again as long as we live.
Fuck you.
We're just having fun. From now on,
I know.
it's
There's
fun.
some stuff.
And that's
chill's-
it.
chill
Just
is
get
fun.
used to having fun.
This shit
and this
that
will
happened
all
to
be
me
a lot
today
easier.
Is what happens when it goes nonstop.
So it's
can't do that
$30
shit.
for the tickets
Jake?
to Yoto.
So we're going to see who?
Yoto.
Say it right.
Yoto.
There we go. Yodo.
Uh-oh. Ryder. That's not
Stand by.
God.
Are we fixed, Ryder?
We're fixed. It's all better.
What was wrong?
Apple broke it.
Uh-huh. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I do-
Hey now,
I do
No
everything.
Simple Road family, welcome back to another magical, wonderful, spectacular, stupendous episode with the gang. We're all here, and we have a special guest today.
Very special
Very
guest.
special guest.
Very special
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very special family member.
Yeah.
Everybody say hi to Blaze.
Hi, Blaze.
Hi, Blaze. Yay. Here, I'm going to turn the mic so you can say hi to the folks.
It's good to be here with my No Simple Road family.
Yeah.
Not just the ones I'm here in person with, but for the ones that will be listening to this as well.
Oh.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like, what is defy family? You know, like, what is a friend?
I don't know. You tell us.
I
I don't know. What is a friend? A friend is someone who doesn't want to be your family or doesn't know how to be your family yet.
Wow.
And so you convince them that they are family.
Will you help them to see it?
Right on.
Well, welcome to the fucking porch, Blaze.
You know
Shit.
what? You know what? I thought I wanted Blaze to go home, but he can stay now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
you
on,
can
Blaze.
stay.
Yeah.
I love you, buddy.
gotta just sleep out here.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like those trees over there.
Mm-hmm.
They're comfy
It's
trees.
nice.
I saw a few
So,
spiders.
guys, wow, things have changed around here in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, your beard's got fuller.
Thank you, Wolfman Whiskers.
Yes, thank you, buddy.
But before I continue, I digress. This episode of No Simple Road is sponsored by Shop Tour Bus.
Sponsor.
Shop tour bus.
Hashtag sponsor.
Yeah, man. With the little ampersand thing, Shop Tour Bus is sponsoring No Simple Road. Luke and the
Oh my
Roadies
gosh.
are part of our family. We're part of their family. I guess if you think about it,
Part.
we are all just family
Yep.
Period.
now.
One big family.
So here's the deal,
Better
guys.
recognize your brother. Everyone you meet.
Shirts are cool. We all love buying merch, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody here likes buying merch.
We like making merch, too.
We do. We like making merch,
I like having a shirt.
right? Having a shirt is
Always
nice.
good to have a shirt.
But when you order a shirt, wouldn't it be cool if that shirt came like
With a prize.
with a prize,
little
but
surprises.
something that you would absolutely like, and it came in a box that was personally hand decorated just for you?
Wow.
Wouldn't that be
Like-
cool?
like
Wait, hold on. Are they one-of-a-kind boxes?
Yes. As a
Like
matter of
handmade
fact,
by individual, one-of-a-kind.
one of a kind,
Wow.
handmade boxes.
some dude
Luke
just
happened to
Hand
make
decorated. They are not
my-
handmade. They did not make the cardboard
he
or fold it.
decorated my box, and he put a tiny cute little bat on it and a little notepad with squares in it and a little I don't
like you're
I
telling me
don't even
they
know.
sit there and they draw like little cute doodles
Yeah.
and stuff
For
on the
every
whole
order,
thing?
Every shirt that's
everyone?
ordered, every underline, exclamation point, ... order that happens, Shop Tour Bus does a custom box, gives you a bootleg tape, a pencil to spool the tape with, candy, extra stickers, a newsletter. Dude,
Oh,
best
but
fucking deal ever.
I
Wait,
bet they
can I
only
talk
have like
about
one
the
shirt,
cassette?
right? They only have like one shirt.
Nope. Go to their website.
Oh my
You'll
goodness.
see.
Well, that cassette on our road trip recently was legit.
Yes, we finally. I have my nice 2007 Toyota Highlander that still has a
Cassette player.
cassette deck in it, and oh man,
I said to
the whole way
Apple-
there and back, we were listening to Vanita, and what was the other? It was 70, and then 72.
74.
74. Oh man, thank you guys.
While we were driving, I said to Apple, I go, you know, up until this trip, your tape deck has been ironic and funny. Now, all of a sudden, it's
has
not so
relevance.
ironic and funny anymore.
Hey, they still make
valuable.
new.
So, my point is,
You're right.
thank you, Shop Tour Bus, for becoming our sponsor. And if you guys listen to No Simple Road, you should go check them out if you haven't checked them out already, because Luke and everybody over there are part of our family. And this is all
Love you
about
guys.
family supporting family.
And plus, they
So,
make dope
Melanie
stuff.
has more to say about Shop Tour Bus. Shop Tour Bus.
I have something to say about awesome Shop Tour Bus, because when we started this and even talked about the perspective of like taking like sponsors, I just told Aaron, I was like, I don't want to do anything or represent anything I don't believe in. And okay, I get it. Like everybody has bills to pay or whatever. But if you start selling out early, then you'll sell out
wait till
all
later
the
to sell
time.
out.
I guess.
Wait a minute.
Pays
when
bigger.
when we talked to Reed Mathis, I think it was Reed.
Yeah.
He said, if you're getting paid to do what you're doing, you have quote unquote sold out. So
Well, just to wrap up what I was saying is that Aaron really believed in this company the second he saw it. Like the first day he saw it, he was so excited. He came home from work like he had won the lottery. Like, look at the coolest
Like a
thing.
kid with a new
and-
toy,
and
showing it off
He
to
was so excited. And then he was like, he said like maybe a few weeks later, he's like, you know what? I just can't stop freaking thinking about this place. It's like really impacted me. And if we had a sponsor, I'd want Shop Tour Bus to sponsor us. And here it is, Shop Tour Bus sponsoring us. So thank you. Thank you, Shop Tour Bus. You're freaking amazing. Your products are amazing. Your shirts feel soft and cozy, and you guys are amazing.
So that's a thing that was never in my mind. Like when I bought a shirt, I never ever thought about like the feel of it. I would go to a show and I would look at the designs and I would pick the design shirt that I wanted. Melanie opened my mind to a whole world of paying attention to the feel of the shirt and the thickness of it and the stitching and the tag and like all that. I never paid attention to that shit.
Yeah, because we all have that. I know I have probably 5 of them in my closet that are itchy. They're thick. They're like canvas. They're itchy. I've washed them too many times trying to soften them, and they're not nice. And
Give them to Simon. He can soften them up for you for real.
okay,
Yeah,
we'll do that. I'll do that.
So
Thanks for the
welcome
tip.
to the family Shop Tour Bus. We love you guys. Go check them out. And yeah, that's our commercial for this show. Yeah,
It'll be different every week.
it'll be different every week. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our 15-second spot.
So what I was gonna say before I started the Shop Tour Bus thing, things have changed around here in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they have.
Damn.
Check that out. High five.
Babe, that was fucking good.
Yeah, things have really, really changed. So we got back from High Sierra, and you're hearing those episodes come out slowly but surely. And you can head over to our YouTube channel and check out the amazing video that we got sent. There's clips from all the episode or all of the interviews that we did at High Sierra with some really nice video done by our fabulous Osiris podcast network.
It's kind of what we
it was really cool.
originally wanted.
Yeah, it's exactly what we wanted. Yep.
Yes.
We got what we wanted. Thanks.
Over and over again.
Yeah, it's a thing. It seems to be a theme around here lately.
It's
Yeah.
a theme around here.
So, yeah, we went to High Sierra and we did that. And then we came back and we had a couple of weeks off, which we didn't have any time off. We worked the whole time doing our day jobs, and Tommy Tacos came and visited us. And
That was fun though. He made
Yeah, he made
Shout out
the
to
best
Tommy
fucking tacos.
Tommy,
His name is Tommy
man.
Tacos for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why Tommy is a part of the family, and
What are they?
Well, coming home to the most delicious fish tacos. Oh wait, I don't know why I said fish.
Chicken
Okay, I'm
tacos.
mixing Tommy tacos
white
and the Phish
meat.
concert.
White
That's
meat.
what I just did.
They were tacos.
They were fish chicken. They were fish chicken tacos.
You guys, you caught me off
No,
guard.
she
I'm
did.
a
Chicken
little shandy down. And anyway, no, Tommy Tacos, thank you so much for dinner that night. Chicken tacos and Phish concert. That's what I meant. He jammed with us. It was fucking rad. And
Party favors.
that's all I mean, party favor. You had it hooked up.
Yeah, he came with the goods. Let me just say
came
that.
no, he
Owsley
came
would be
correct.
proud. Owsley would be
about it.
proud.
Tommy
Shit.
came correct.
Talk about a groovy motherfucker too, dude. He was so fun to dance with.
He was kicking with me
Yep.
and you.
So wait, guys,
sorry,
keep
sorry,
it together, keep it together. Stay on the rails. Stay on the rails.
Love Tommy.
Are we there? Everybody settle down.
Sorry.
We're excited.
Take a
I'm
breath.
excited.
Back to a lot of things have changed around here lately.
Jesus, everybody shot out of a cannon. So
We haven't
we
had
had
a recap.
Tommy
in a while.
here, and then we had a little bit of time off. And
No, we didn't.
yes, we did. And then it was
We had a
time
short time.
to go to the Phish show at the Gorge. And man, oh man. So the couple of days leading up to the show, it was weird, man. Like in retrospect, thinking about it, I was physically ill. Like I had been drinking this green algae shit in the morning.
Yeah.
Now it's shit.
It's wonderful stuff.
It messed him up.
And it really works. It detoxes you. But
You end up
when you
sick.
daily take tox, when you diet, you feel like dog shit. So, yeah, man, I was feeling really rough around the edges, like super anxiety ridden. My skin was crawling. I couldn't sleep. And then all I wanted to do was sleep. And those of you out there that have had that, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it was a fucking nightmare. And yeah, I said to Apple on Friday night before we left, I said, you know what? The way I felt the past few days, if I knew I was going to feel like that tomorrow, I wouldn't fucking go with you guys.
And that's when I knew he was fucking serious as fuck. I was like, oh, okay.
He was like trying to be like, I don't want to go to Phish. I don't feel like shit. And I was like, I didn't even acknowledge it. I didn't. You know how I am, Apple. Like,
we all don't
it's
acknowledge.
tough love. And I knew that he felt like shit because he did look like poop.
It's like Melody.
But I wasn't going to give it any
Melody
more
said
attention.
to me before, fucking, because me and Aaron know each other. So she's like, don't mollycoddle him.
Yeah, and Apple does. Apple mollycoddles Darwin. He mollycoddles the kids, Sydney
I'm
and
a molly-
Simon.
I come from a long line
and
of
he
mollycoddlers.
mollycoddles Aaron so. I mean, he literally holds Aaron's balls. He does.
That's because I love.
Well, wait a minute.
That's because I
You
love
were misusing the word literally.
Yeah,
That
literally.
was a huge like, okay, I was.
Back up,
Hey,
sister.
He doesn't
that happened one
literally
time when
do
we were in our
that.
Yeah, it
teens.
was
You
in
weren't
college.
even there.
Don't worry about it. I was drunk.
Look, okay, fine. Too much TMI, and it's not current. I don't.
That was in our experimental college days. Stop it.
Sorry. All right, guys.
Anyway, how about them Raiders? This fucking sports team, guys. I like sports.
Point is, Aaron got better, and we had a really good time.
Anyway, yeah. So I was feeling like shit, and I told my brother over here, dude, if I knew I was gonna feel like this tomorrow, I wouldn't be going. And we packed up all our stuff in the car.
Wait, hold on. We woke up Saturday morning, and it was like dun dun dun. How's Aaron gonna be? And Aaron came out and was.
I was fine.
As soon as I saw his face, I was like, we're on.
Yeah, dude.
110%.
110%.
I don't know about you guys, but like leading up to it, there was quite a bit of, I guess, quote, high strangeness
No, that's
What do you
just
mean?
Like even
Explain what you mean.
like the day before we went to the Dead show, I had this job at work that I basically shirked, and like just so I could get out earlier and and leave to Eugene. And without me knowing it, usually I get notifications of when I'm gonna get a repeat job, but I didn't get one. And my last job of the day before we left, was that job that I shirked because I didn't do it.
What
So
did
I
we
had
learn
this-
here?
Do it right the first time, man.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yep.
I knew that. I was just like, I gotta
hurry up and get to the Dead.
So I was like, screw it.
Anyway,
Stuff like
yeah. So we pack up the cars, and we decide we're not going to bring a tent, but we're going to camp.
Can we stop and just say you decided we're not bringing a tent?
We
didn't decide that.
Okay.
I decided that too.
Yeah, and
Okay,
the
Apple and Aaron decided that.
because the
Ryder-
website
Ryder and I. So, what? I can't interrupt like I usually
because
do?
the website said you get 10 feet by 10 feet. We have a 12-man fucking house.
No.
I feel like
You're
we could have brought it
exaggerating.
and left it in the car. Worst case scenario.
That's what Melanie said.
Okay.
It's because me
Okay.
and Melanie-
On with the show, because you know what? Wait till you hear how it ended up. It was the best with our 10 by 10.
Yeah, let me get that.
Oh, Blaze. Yeah, hit it up, man.
Yeah, I've just been over here, listening
Blaze
and
stayed the
everything.
night.
Yeah, I stayed the night there. I got to go check it out. Yeah, I sure fucking did.
Me and him shared a pillow.
Yeah, I shared a pillow. It was great.
Did he hold your balls?
A little bit. Just not hold. I think hold is a very strong word.
I kept telling him, I was like, dude, you
mollycoddled
gotta
him.
stop caressing Blaze's balls.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was something else entirely, and I was like, "Oh, that's just
about the 10 by 10?
the 10 by 10." Like, if that wasn't a bad decision, like, I don't know if you guys are like thinking if you should have brought a tent or not. I oppose that thought because I think it just fucking worked out. Like, first of all, they tried to keep me out of your campsite. No, they didn't.
Who did?
Nobody did.
The checkers did for sure.
mind trick those motherfuckers.
Yeah, you got
Yeah. From the beginning, and the first time it was before we even got there, and then as we arrived, they were just confused. Aaron was asking them questions, and they were like, "Oh." Anyways,
Okay, wait. That was fun because Blaze was worried about getting into our campground, which you had to have a special bracelet for.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, we'll create a diversion and just Jedi through. And that's what he did.
And then when I got there, it's just like so open and nice. Like, I was coming from my campsite where we had like tents, the canopy, coolers, all kinds of things, like almost too many amenities. And then I just show up at yours and it's like open and like flowing. And it's just, I feel like it's kind of a metaphor for the show. You can't like sit in a tent, you got to kind of just be out there among everyone.
Yeah.
And it could be a bit intense. And this honestly,
It's not
so
intense.
that everyone is the duality of tense, I guess.
Wow.
Wow. You could probably write a book about that. Too tense. And honestly, it's funny that you say that because when I'm exposed to that openness, a lot of the time, I feel very tense. And this is pretty incredible for me to be here speaking to all of you because I know you're listening, And it's just like that. It's being open among everyone.
We speak your name.
I am the Blaze. You are the good people. Yeah.
So we made the decision to not bring the tent, however that came about.
And according to Blaze, it's a great decision.
I like that.
And so we set up the 10 by 10 and we have like tie-dye curtains that hang down and we set up the inside and our neighbors were fucking awesome, hooked us up with an air pump and duct tape and all the shit that we forgot they had and all the shit they forgot we had, and
same with
that's
the
how that
people,
always
like,
works
just-
out.
The people on the other side too. We were just
Everybody that was around us was
community.
really cool.
That's what it was, it's sharing community from the start.
So we drive up there, and the drive from Portland to the Gorge Amphitheater is amazingly beautiful. You're driving through the Columbia River Gorge, and then you go over a bridge over the river up into these like rolling golden hills, and then the landscape starts to change and it turns into this wonderful like high desert, and you end up at the Gorge Amphitheater. And so and it's like far enough away that it feels like a road trip, but close enough that when you're just getting antsy and want the fuck out of the car, you're there. And we pull into the lot, and Melanie's car is behind us, and we pull up to the campground, and I hand the lady our receipt, and she goes, are you waiting, going to meet friends in the regular camping? And I was like, no, not really. I was like, but the car behind us is with us. And I said, why? And she goes, well, I was going to upgrade you guys to Premier Camping. And I was like, well, how much? And she was like, no, I was just going to upgrade you guys. I was like, what the fuck? Premier Camping was $699.
Yep.
And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, well, it's a little more spread out, and you have flush toilets and hot showers, and there's a shuttle that takes you
Which
to...
we never used.
Which we never used.
Never used any of that.
Any of it.
Just the
We were there
extra
for
space.
23 hours.
Yeah. So
I used to flush toilets.
you did? How was it, the flush toilet?
It was like a regular bathroom. Like, it was clean, and I decided
flush
something
well?
too. Going to all these oh, sorry, baby. Going to all these festivals and having to use these porta potties and stuff. I have a personal goal of leaving my porta potty better than I found it. So if there is tissue
I'm
all over
sorry.
the floor,
I will do that in a bathroom all day.
And by the way,
Personal-
I know, I'm
up
just
in this
saying.
area, they're
Personal-
called
You're a
honey
better person
buckets.
than
the
me, that's
honey
all.
buckets, yeah. Like
You're a
I
better person than
decided
me.
like this is gross, and so I'm not gonna be the one who leaves that door and somebody comes in and is like, ew. They're already going ill, so at least let them go like ew instead of like ew.
That's why I love, one of the reasons I love you, because you think about stuff like that. I just hold my breath, go in there and piss and get the hell out. But anyway, so we go and we set up our camp. All these wonderful people around us.
You
and
can't tell them that. Like, you have to tell them what the lady said to me.
and the lady, oh yeah.
on.
And the
Now
lady
you're-
also says to me, she goes, and she says, no, I'm just kidding. The lady goes, is there any message that you want me to give the car behind us? And the whole time she's like doing this on the DL, like she put her back to Mel's car so that Mel couldn't see what was going on, was handing me the wristbands for the Premier Camping and like hooking us up on the down low. And she goes, is there any message that you want me to give the car behind you? I was like, yeah, tell her that Aaron loves her.
And then she comes up all kind of like flirty and cute like, and was like, so I'm gonna upgrade you guys to Premier parking. And I was like, camping. And I was like, oh, cool, like, thank you, but I don't even know what that means. And she was like, well, that means it's like over $100 of more than what you paid, and you have showers and whatever she told Aaron, and yeah, and she was like, and also Aaron loves you. I was like, what?
They
And
were the
she
cool
started, I was like, you are such a cutie. I'm gonna give you a cutie. And I reached and I gave her one of our cuties.
And I gotta give them props too. Everybody up there at the Gorge was they were fun. Everybody we experienced that was working the show, you guys were awesome.
So we set up camp, and like it had been a long week for all of us. We didn't get a lot of sleep. We've been going for a month straight, and trips, and then road trips and other stuff and things and whatnot. And we set up, and it was like this giant sigh, like, oh. And
We all immediately laid down.
I was just going to say, instantly, all of us are just like reclining,
We
hanging
had
out,
pillows and the air mattress,
chilling.
and
The
blankets.
vibe
was
is
super
so
We had
cool.
Grammy blankets too.
Yeah. My mom made us all blankets.
Thank you,
and
Grammy.
We brought them. Yeah.
Love you, Grammy. I know
And
you're listening.
Also, yeah, I know you listen to these. Sorry about all the drug use.
love you, mom.
She's
Yeah.
starting to listen.
Mom
Yes.
listens.
Oh,
And so we're hanging out, and earlier we had a couple of months ago planned to meet Blaze and his family at the show. And so we get settled, we relax for a little while, we have lunch, and then we go and we meet Blaze and go to the shakedown. And I have to say, that shit was organized.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Super fucking cool. A lot of really good vending. And everybody was just chill. And it was the second day of the show. So I imagine whoever was at the show the night before was a little bit out of it, you know,
Yeah.
and relaxing.
I mean, and you could definitely tell which vendors were at the show the night before. You're like, oh, you did something last night,
Yeah,
and you
for
were
sure.
probably always like that.
So we meet up with Blaze and hang out with them for a little while, go back to the camp, play Frisbee. I fucked my thumb up and just kind of relaxed
Frisbee
and hung out.
treats.
Mel drew some tarot cards to represent the evening.
Yeah.
And
that was heavy.
I
Mars
pulled,
energy.
Very heavy reading.
I pulled disappointment, which
Inverted
disappointment. That's true. And it was the opposite. This show turned out to be the opposite of disappointment. I have to say that.
Yeah,
What,
what-
Mel? What were you going to say?
I
What?
pulled the tower.
What did you pull?
That's still...
I pulled cruelty. It was dripping with blood, and it was represented not necessarily cruelty outwardly, but cruelty inward. And so that can manifest and mean a bunch of things. And maybe that night for me, it was just like definitely in the recent past, like not allowing myself to enjoy things and like kind of giving myself these like crazy unrealistic expectations of what my performance should be. So that's kind of how I took it, but also all of us pulled a card, and so the reading as a whole was pretty fucking beautiful. Like Ryder pulled the sun card.
Yes.
And Blaze,
sun is like-
Blaze pulled the lovers, right? And so that was very poignant for me post show.
Explain what the sun and the lovers are.
Well, the sun is the highest energy card in the deck, you know, and it's just that solar energy, purifying
Blaze.
and transformative, and you know, uniting of opposites, and just like full transformation, alchemical transformation. And then the lovers, the lovers is also uniting,
The union of opposites.
and you know, black and white, light and dark, you know, male and female, yin and yang, all these elements. And in our group that we had, it was a pretty unique group. We had Andy, we had Jossie, we had Crystal, we had Blaze. My sister was there for the first time, which we haven't even mentioned.
We're gonna get into
Yeah,
that.
and then all of us from No Simple Roads. So like we were such an eclectic group, and like from the start we were just getting like treatment. Like we got upgraded to Premiere, then we went and saw Crystal, and they freaking had, like Blaze said, that they had like almost too much. It was like they bought to entertain. So they entertained
That's
us.
some good-ass
And you know
cookies.
what, we were thirsty, and they provided water, and we wanted snacks, and they had the fucking best snacks. So thank you, Crystal, so much, and Jossie and Andy, because that was amazing. That spread was amazing.
Yeah, she's saying we, but I'm gonna keep it real. You know, that's Ma. Like that's Ma. Like she's always got my back. She's got our back. Like she knows how to like.
She got everybody's back.
She's got everybody's back. Mom carries
Crystal
the team.
does have everybody's
She,
back.
is supposed
That's what Mom does. Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
did.
love her.
Oh, I love you too, Crystal. Yeah, so
So yeah, we pull the cards for the show, and then we start walking up that walk from the campground to the Gorge Amphitheater. And if you've never been there, it's a little bit of a hike, and it's super fun because everybody's excited for the show, and you're doing your thing, walking up and talking to everybody and getting crazy. And as we're walking up, we see Blaze's mom and her friend come walking up, and they look like two deer that had just been spotlighted in the woods, the two of them. And they're like,
Yeah, they
don't
did.
go up there. Don't go there. It's a mob scene up there. It's crazy. You guys can't go up. And I'm like, you have to go up there. That's how you get
how
in the
you-
show.
yeah.
And they're like, no, it's
I didn't even
they're not letting
realize-
anybody in, and everybody's all clustered up in the front, and it's just it. I go, it's a concert. that's what happens. We have to go up there and find out what's going on because that's how you get into the show.
You were so calm.
And so, yeah, I'm not letting anybody harsh my groove walking into the show.
I know what you do with that Jedi mind trick.
And Aaron has gotten really good at that, which is a thing you weren't good at before. You're calm all the time in situations that were like, okay.
Hey, better living through chemistry, brother.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
around here.
Things have changed in the past couple weeks. What are you drinking? Fear of a Craft Beer Planet.
Yeti?
Yeti.
Yeti from?
From your mother.
From your mom. She's a Yeti.
I don't know. I can't read. I've had a couple.
All right. Anyway, nobody cares.
Then I had a chocolate milk stout before
They
that.
do
And
care.
a Samuel Smith's organic chocolate.
Organic? Is that different than organic?
Yeah. So
Great
Fear of Craft Beer
Divide
Planet,
Brewing
when you
Company
listen to
in
this,
Denver,
I'm
Colorado.
fueled by stout tonight.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're walking in, and Crystal, Blaze's mom, and her friend are flipping out. Jossie. And I'm like, look,
mostly
that's how you
Jossie.
get into the show, guys. Look, we're going up there. We're going to find out what's going on. So we get up there, and there is a fucking wall of human beings. And not just any human beings, but fucking Phish fans.
Woo!
And holy dog shit.
We were part of it.
It was a sea of people.
You know
Are
what
we
I
gonna
just
totally
this second
skip over?
remembered?
What?
You remember when people would try and like jump the line?
Oh,
and
I'm getting
everyone,
there. I'll
oh
get
my
there.
god!
Wait,
So-
what about we skipped over our listener that we bumped into?
We haven't gotten there yet.
no,
that
we
was
didn't. We
going
met
into
him
the
inside
show.
the show.
So
We're not inside yet.
So I'm like, you know what? Tommy comes over to me. He goes, "Hey man, you guys have those Premier wristbands. There's another way for you to get in that'll be faster." And thank you, Tommy. So we go over and we get in this other line that's like maybe a quarter as long as the other ones, but not really moving.
And it's organized.
And it's not a
but
wall of people.
But
it's
then
an
I
actual
look
line.
and I notice that every person in the line is either in a
Handicapped or has
wheelchair
kids.
or has children. So I look and I'm like, fuck, we're in the ADA line. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to go get back in the line. The guy behind us is like, fuck that, you're Uncle Aaron.
Yep.
And this is Uncle Apple. And the guys in front of us are like, you can be our uncle too
Yeah,
and
we'll
come with
split
us.
you guys. You two go with these guys in the front, and the rest of us will go with them in the back.
And if you happen to listen to this, Jeremy, BB, and Maddie, love you guys.
Right on. I'm glad you got their names.
From Uncle Aaron and Uncle Apple.
Or, I'm
Yep.
sorry, not Maddie, Maggie.
Maggie.
Magnolia.
From Uncle Apple.
Yep.
So we wait and we get in through the ADA line magically and walk into the show, and it was such a feeling of triumph walking in there. Like you could feel that something amazing was about to happen.
Yep.
Like really feel it on a like visceral inside. Something was boiling. And Mel's sister, this was her first concert of any kind like this ever. And she is the cutest, coolest person, man. She, first of all, is as organized as I've ever seen a person be organized. Handled all of us tripping our faces off with grace and style.
Stunning grace.
And she even told me one point we were walking, she's like, I'm letting myself be disorganized.
Which, okay, whatever.
She let it go.
Yeah, it was something else. So she wants to stop and get a beer. And I'm like, fuck, they're going to go on any second. She wants to stop and get a beer. So she stops to get the beer. And lo and behold, I hear somebody say, is that Aaron from No Simple Road and Melanie? What was his name, Apple? Help me out. From Sacramento.
Not Jay.
No, San Diego.
No,
Oh,
Sacramento.
we're blowing
Was
it.
it Sacramento?
It was Sacramento.
You know
We're
what?
blowing it.
Hang on. Somebody fill the time.
It was
We can
John.
pause
It's a
it.
J name.
Well,
I'm so
while
sorry,
we're
Jay.
doing that, while
I had
that
it
was
memorized.
happening, Murph was trying to get a beat, and why did Murph
You just
die?
died.
I died. Okay.
Oh.
I'm alive again. Nope.
Nope.
I'm not. Wait,
There-
I'm alive.
Go.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Murph was trying to get a beer, and everyone's like meeting this listener, and they meet him, and everyone starts walking away, and Murph's still back trying to get a beer, and I go back there, and she's like, do you got $1? And I was like, I know this is stupid, but I didn't bring any cash with me. They were charging her $13 for a $14 for a
one beer?
For
For a tall-
a beer.
Was it dosed?
No.
It was a tall can of Bud Light.
Wow.
One of the big boys. But
Okay.
still,
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't know if that's what they're called.
So
They're big boys.
let me just say this too. Ryder took his first dose of real liquid
Acid, yeah.
LSD that night, and so did Melanie.
Why are
And-
you shouting us out? Why are you calling us out like that?
Cause man,
I already,
why not? That's how we roll up
we already
here.
talked about party favors.
Yeah.
Wait, are we being truthful?
Oh shit. We're telling stories.
Okay, we're all over. I just got to add in. We met this crazy cat in line that had a fucking T-shirt like Calvin Klein, but it was cocaine, ketamine, and he said he just came back from Colombia and snorted cocaine off of Escobar's fucking
Pablo Escobar's
Escobar's
grave.
tombstone.
And showed me a video in line for
Yeah,
the
he
beer of
wasn't
him
bullshitting.
snorting
He
a
had a
line of
video.
shit off
Dude,
of
the crazy-
Pablo's. Yeah.
Things you see.
Anyway, yeah, things you see at a fish show.
Also, because it'll come up later, we in the begin like right when we got to the fence in the line, you remember that crazy lady that came up and just like walked up and tried to like talk to us
Yes.
for like a minute and tried to get in? Yeah, she kept showing up throughout the night, and it
Yeah,
was significant.
it's
It'll be
very
significant
strange.
later.
By
How
the way,
that
welcome
happens.
to our second 3.5-hour episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was.
we get in and we're walking up. We buy the beer and finally we're fucking getting into the show, and I hear party time, and I'm like, oh shit, they're on, and we're missing it. So we start to run, and Mel takes the cue to fucking bolt, and all of us are in tow behind Melanie, bolting into the gorge, up to the lawn.
When we came over that hill,
We come over
What
the
a
rise
magnificent-
and see the venue. So, guys, take a second, search the Gorge Amphitheater, and look at images of this place.
Hold on.
It's fucking
hold
incredible.
on. Blaze
With
has
the
something
with
to
the
say.
stage on the back of a cliff, with the gorge behind it, and the river running through there, and the sun.
I got a really good picture.
Holy
we can put up.
crap, man! What place?
I interject when it comes to.
He did. He just pumped his fist. Did that with authority.
I felt passionately about that one. Then again, to each his own. But in my personal experience, which is what the whole thing was for me, I didn't look up the gorge. I didn't see it on a computer screen,
Yeah, neither did your
or
mom.
I didn't even have anyone
had-
explain it to me. The only knowledge I had of the gorge was people I met that had been there and just told me in this like kind of fanatic trance-like state. If you've seen that one like Rajneeshi documentary, Osho, how they walk around the
Yes.
city, yeah,
Yes.
like that. And just without having any expectation, when I got there, I was honestly, to my disappointment, too caught up to try to find you guys. But in hindsight,
found
I
us.
see a lesson in that because I gotta like stop to see what's like really there. Like I can't believe a
Yeah.
place like that was right in front of me, and I was like, "Where are my people? My people were there." And the funny thing about that was I walked back and forth above the crowd. But the second we got there, I really knew where you guys were at. Like I really knew exactly where you were.
You walked right to us.
Yeah, because I got too caught up in like, just doubting myself, And I'm just literally like, where could they be? Where could they be? And then my mom's like, tell them to meet us at the Coop, which is like a shop or something.
So you text me, and we're in the first song, and Mel had taken off and was dancing down by herself, and I was trying to keep up with her as we come over the rise. She's like bolting through the crowd, and all of us are trying to follow her.
I
Murph
stopped
put
halfway.
it perfectly.
'cause
She
on her
was a
mission.
little billy goat because it's like a steep enough hill just where people stand, and then she goes down
was
in
like
the
a
steepest part with
30
just
degree
rocks
incline.
and it's dancing on a sheer cliff almost in rocks. And
And I finally catch her, and I grabbed her, and I was like, Mel, where are you going? We have a whole group of people with us. And she says,
I was like, I
Fuck
thought
you.
this was a fucking concert, not a fucking shakedown. Like, damn, I want to have fun. You wanted me to come to the Phish show. Do you want me to have fun or not? And he was like, everybody's wait with us. I'm like, so what? What he didn't realize was even before we got to the top of that amazing climactic scene, like when he heard that Phish on, like I started like bolting through the crowd first and making a way, because I guess that's one of my like secret powers is like I just see a way in. I don't see the way out. I see the way in. So I'm just like doon, 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 like jumping around like a little bunny, get to the top, and I was like, oh my God, I want to play so bad. So I ran through the crowd because I knew that Aaron was going to follow me, first of all. Second of all, I was trying to find us a spot big enough for all of our guys. Like, we have all these people, and I wanted to find a spot that I could, like, go back to once I decided I wanted to go party. So Aaron didn't know that. I didn't tell him that. I just know that that's what I'm doing, and then he's trying to yell at me, like, you're going earlier. And I'm like, no,
just
I'm
trying to stop you from taking off.
Mel did what she needed to. She went and had a personal experience
Totally.
at the beginning of it when she came back to us. Oh my God.
So she finally, we stop, I catch her, I say that, and she's like, I'm gonna go do my thing. You guys could stay here. And I'm like, fine, go do your thing. I'll be right here. And I'm like, I turn to Jesse, I'm like, go with your sister. Because Jesse's not high or nothing.
And then you
Jesse
turned
just
to
had a
me and
beer.
you were like, bro, because we were all really elevated. Aaron turned to me and he's all, dude, just tell me she's okay. I was like, she's okay, man.
I told Jesse.
And we started a group.
I told Jesse, they sent you to come get me. Little do they know, you're my freaking sidekick. Like, we're going to go get in trouble together if we're getting in trouble. So we start laughing, and then so we took off.
And they're playing Wilson, and I can see Mel down there, and he's like, punch you in the eye. And she turns around, she looks at me, and she raises her fist. I'll punch you in the eye. And she bumps her fist together. Like,
we have
you.
video of that too.
Like, oh,
I
God.
don't think we put that video up, but
Have fun, Phish.
the second he got there, and like it's all this fun music, and then Aaron's like being dad, trying to keep me around, and I was like, punch you in the eye. Fucking perfect. How does he know? And so I did. That's what I felt. I was like, oh my God.
a Jedi.
From then on, I knew he was dictating the whole night. Like once that happened, I was like, okay, that's this kind of game.
So they take
And he
off.
did.
We're all dancing together. Blaze texts me, and he's like, meet us at the coop. And I'm starting to really come on hard. At this point, there's 4 of my phone in my hand. I cannot remember how to spell. And I just remember texting him, can't move in the grass.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
In the grass.
Period.
Yeah. And you like, Blaze said he's up in the coop, and like I'd already started getting visuals. Like I was like, "There's no way I have fun." I'm standing right
What's
here.
a coop? I barely have a body right now.
I fucking left that coop. I was with my mom. And she was like, I'm going to the coop, and I was like, I can't go to the coop.
That doesn't sound. The coop that you're cooped up. The coop doesn't sound comfortable.
Yeah.
You're too tense.
Yeah,
You're a wigwam.
You're a teepee.
yeah. So like, I don't know. My
How
mom.
did you find us?
I was standing basically center to where you guys were, like directly straight. And my mom's on my right. It's just every now and then I have these perspective shifts where I kind of like step out just for a moment. Most of them only last a few seconds, but I'm getting better at catching them, knowing when they're happening. And so I'm standing there center to the stage, to everything. And on my right is my mom like, let's go to the coop. Like, tell them to meet us there. Let's go to the coop. But I'm just like, nah, I know they're right there. I know they're straight ahead of me. And you know damn well I couldn't see you guys. It was a sea. It really was.
Yes,
it was
it
just a
was.
sea. And I'm just looking down into the vastness of the ocean. But, like, I know where the fish are. I know, like... And I literally walked straight. And my whole way down there, it seemed like the people in front of me just kind of moved out of the way. And as far as I'm concerned, and I can remember, I literally walked straight. And a whole field and crowd of people, I just went, like, like they just parted. Like, they parted the sea. Like, I was, what's the guy from the Bible? Like
Moses.
I was fucking Moses. If I had a stick.
Dude, it was such a trip. I was standing there dancing, me and Tommy, Apple, and Ryder, and I turn around, and the crowd fucking parted, and you came walking up, and I was like, fuck yeah, he found us. And we started grooving together. And I gotta say, waiting for the show and then getting in there and everything leading up to it, and then it seemed like the family was starting to come and gather around us. It was so weird. Like Blaze showed up, and then Crystal showed up, and then Mel and Murphy came back, and it was like this huge reunion in the middle of the first set.
Voltron coming together.
Yeah, it was like Voltron coming together. Totally.
And so went through all that. That was the funnest set break I've ever had in my life.
Whoa, we're already at set break?
Can we pause it? Because I gotta pee.
Mel has to pee. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So I forgot a really important part of the night.
We got multiple parts.
So, but I forgot a really important one.
Okay.
Our night and what was going to happen that night was contingent upon finding Tommy Tacos.
Yes, we did forget this very important part.
And we had texted him and looked for him all day. And as we're walking to the show, we're about to turn right to go down the path that leads down to the gorge.
The last turn.
The last turn before the sea of people.
Completely
And we
unexpected.
stopped for a second to do something.
We weren't even
No, we
stopping.
didn't
We were
stop.
walking, and Mel goes, "Is that Tommy Tacos?" And I was like, "No, it's not."
First of all, I already had it that we were going to meet Tommy. I knew it. I felt it. I put it out there. I wasn't even worried about it at all. Because Aaron kept saying, I can't get a hold of him. Apple couldn't get a hold of him. So it was like, if you would have seen it from above, it would have looked like the most beautiful orchestrated dance. He was coming, walking straight ahead, and we were about to make a right turn, and we
ran into him.
We
If
it was
neither
like-
one of us saw each other, we would have
That's
just
what I'm saying. It was the
smashed
most
into each
perfect
other.
dance move from seeing it from above, because you don't know what's the dialogue with the people, but you just see the action. So it was like a perfect merger, and I was like, "Is that Tommy Tacos? That's Tommy Tacos." And he had the same shirt that Aaron just had taken off.
Yeah, he was wearing an orange. What do you call
Daishiki.
it?
Daishiki, yeah. And Aaron was wearing a red one 5 minutes prior to that, and so
It was too itchy. I had to take it off.
it was just.
And he was just as elevated as us because he looked at us and goes, "Who's calling my name? Like, who are you guys?" And we all looked at each
That's
other
why I
for a
was like,
minute.
that's not
Dude, you
Tommy,
just spent
'cause
the
he
night at our
looked at-
house.
I almost thought it wasn't him.
Me
too.
Yeah, because he looked right at me and he was like, he still had that. I don't know.
No,
I don't think I
knew
know
right
you.
away, and we met up, and
And we went into the show and
we went into the show behind the van and into
yeah,
the show.
yeah. So back to the show. So we're in the first set, and I'm like, Mel comes, and everybody's there, and the whole group is now together.
Well, there's a whole thing
And it
that
was
happened with
like-
me
It
when I
was
took off.
it was like
Same.
everything synced up.
Before that, even
Yeah.
like we said earlier, it was the first time I'd ever taken acid, and I took enough acid.
It put you on the floor.
It did. The gorge behind the stage, I couldn't even look at the stage until the sun went down, because the gorge behind the stage was radiating beauty and melting and forming into itself and making faces, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
What?
Still right now.
What happened when you took off, Mel?
So I kept saying, well, I don't really feel anything, because I felt like maybe I thought I could have taken more, but in retrospect, I took exactly the perfect amount, because I didn't get any visuals like Ryder did, but I swear I feel like I had my spidey senses or something. Like, I felt like I just could dip and dive into the crowd. I felt like so powerful. My legs that night, I was like a fucking horse, a centaur or something. I was running.
Goat.
Yeah, I was running up and down, and it was nothing to me. I felt zero fatigue, zero tired at all. I was just happy. I felt in tune with myself. I felt like, this is a fucking fun. This is my kind of party. And I told Aaron this. I felt like the difference between, for me, and I'm not comparing at all, but it's just because we've gone to Eugene, and so like the Dead Show was going to a concert, a really amazing concert, and having a blast. But this was like going to a party where I was mingling with the crowd, and that was fucking so different than a Dead concert. Like, it was so different for me. And they're fucking funky. Phish is funky.
And that is one of the funnest things about having Melanie along on this whole journey is she's not like me and Aaron. Me and Aaron are like the more stodgy, stuck in the dead thing. But we have opened up a lot more thanks to everybody listening.
We'll get to that.
And what we're doing. But Melanie is like a fresh perspective on it, and she is in tune with what's going on now, and it's so fucking cool.
All right.
Here it goes.
There's been a lot of
Dramatic pause.
dramatic shit that happened that night, and I'm trying to keep it together. But I'll say this. Out of all the shows that I've ever gone to with Mel, there's always been a thing of like, I want her to get it. And it's happened in the past. And it always seemed like there was something there between us at the show where like it was my thing and she was along for the ride, or she was just there because I wanted to go, or that's just what we were doing, or whatever. But
She made it her thing. And
this
you were
was
along for the
completely
ride.
different. Yeah. And it was our thing.
Yeah.
This was our thing. And it felt different than any other show that we had been to together. And in turn felt different for me personally than any other show that I've been to. The only thing that I can compare this to is my very first Dead show. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because that changed the rest of my life. But I feel like this did that in the same way. And I realized something. And I said this to Ryder the other night in the kitchen, and I may get a lot of shit for this, and I don't care. But I'll say this.
It's some knowledge.
So, when Jerry was alive, there was a lot of magic happening. And it was special, and it was powerful, and it was palpable, and it was real. And it's still going. Not saying that it's gone. But there was something different about being in a Dead show when Jerry was there. And I know that all the heads out there agree with me when I say that. And the reason that people followed the Dead around was because of that thing. And it was happening all the time. Even when Jerry wasn't well, that was still happening. But I realized that it's still happening with Phish. Nobody's passed away. It's still happening. Phish's Jerry is still alive.
You can. I have never. I don't know about Will ever, other than Phish again, felt it was like a battery was standing on stage, and you could see and feel, or I could see at least, and feel the waves of energy coming off of him and the band and through the crowd and back against the back of the crowd and back into the band.
And as it happened, people would yell and the crowd participation.
Speaking of, we'll get to second set, but speaking of crowd that was just speechless.
So that thing is the thing that made me jump on tour in 89.
Yep.
That.
I could see it.
That.
Yes.
And that's what did it. And I didn't think I was going to find that anywhere else. Everything else that we've gone to has been fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But it didn't scratch that spot in the back of my head. That spot that hasn't been scratched since 95 got fucking debrided with a wire brush.
And I'm going to interject with what sums that up to me, I mean, we all had experiences, but with Melanie, what you said, and you'll add to this, you said Aaron's moved like I've never felt a move. You two, these two cutie patooties at every show we go to just exude like whatever, or an aura, whatever, fucking. It's just they're amazing. People look at them; they're the strongest, cutest couple ever. This was beyond that.
Yeah. Every show, Aaron, he said it, like, always wants me to get something. And that's, one, a lot of pressure for the person who has to get it. And two, if Aaron wants me to do something, then I always want to do the opposite. Like, I don't like to be told what to do by him. So he doesn't tell me what to do very much because he got it. But this show, whatever was something that was between us, it like went away. Like, it was a legitimate feeling, like a feeling of loss. Like, if you've lost somebody close to you and now you're like, what? Like, you're feeling like that emptiness. I felt the emptiness of the wall that was there, of him trying to make me like something and like not accepting me fully for not getting it. And it was a huge breakthrough for me. And it was also very humbling because it was like, I felt like in turn, it allowed me to love Aaron different. Like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you love them like they're your lover or your partner. But like, I felt love like he was Sydney or Simon, like my kids. And I wanted good things to happen for him. And I didn't want him to feel sad. And I wanted his dreams to be fulfilled. Like, I felt like a mother love for him. And I don't think I've never felt that before, but it was amplified by being in nature and in that beautiful sunset. And the fact that I was like a kid running away from him and then coming back and running away and just exercising my independence, yet allowing him to know that I'm always coming back. And that's kind of like the whole, if you let a bird go or something. If you love something, you let it free. That whole thing, like, I really felt that. I felt super loved by him, but also I felt a little scolded in a way that I needed to be scolded. Like,
You know what? And it comes through in the pictures and the videos we've been posting. I am not a good photographer.
Yeah, you are.
And,
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you are.
I'm very elevated when I take like 20 pictures of each thing, and then you pick the couple. But the shit I caught of Melanie and you guys and Ryder and you,
Dude, that picture that you took,
I can't wait till the next one because I can't wait to capture all
that
these
picture
moments.
that you took that I posted with Mel holding on to me and my arms up in the
my
air.
sister took that.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jess got
Jess-
that.
Well,
took
let me
that.
just say, the first time I saw that picture, I started crying because I know that moment.
That exact moment.
That moment was the moment that Mel and I connected. And the reason I had my hands in the air, I was yelling, yeah! Because I knew that she finally got me.
Yeah.
She finally understood me, and I understood her in that spot.
Like,
That is-
he felt like that,
okay,
and
I haven't
I
heard
felt
that yet.
like that.
That is so sweet.
No,
You
Aaron and I,
fucking
like,
too.
literally had an entire year's worth of therapy in that, and it wasn't even therapy, like, just resolve. Like, resolve in our relationship.
And this is all stuff that was like up under the surface stuff that you have to dig to get to.
It was
And
another
these
layer into
these
the
two
onion.
are already so fucking cool to be around, but since last weekend, you feel it.
It was
You
a
feel it
thing,
with
dude.
these
That
two.
moment, I've felt power run through my body before. I have never felt that before, dude. I have never felt that. That fucking coming from the stage and then amplified through her and then through me and then back out into the crowd and back again. Like, it was almost too much to handle. Like, it was making me want to throw up. And that's why I put my arms up and did that, like, because I couldn't contain it. I couldn't hold
Like
it
when
in
you made it to
anymore.
the top of Mount Everest.
I
Like
couldn't
fucking.
I couldn't keep it in. And I knew she felt it, and that was her grabbing onto it, like. And then to have Jesse fucking snap that picture at that moment.
Right then.
Dude, the next day we were driving home. I was just like pouring tears down my face looking at it, remembering the feeling over and over again. Like, oh my God, somebody captured that. How is that possible?
And this is the thing, like me and Jesse were looking at her pictures and she showed me that. And when I saw it, I was like, because I knew what was happening. But it was me and Aaron's thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's got to see this!" And I handed over to Aaron, and he did. He immediately started crying, and I was like, "How?" Like she like captured, like it was like the moment of conception. Perfect. The moment somebody fell in love for the first time, the moment somebody orgasmed, like she captured the moment that Aaron and I's relationship like turned to like leveled up, turned the page, and it was no. Go ahead, Apple.
I was just gonna say it's amazing how these keep on happening. All these moments, fucking. You got just everything that happened there. You guys have been posting more pics than me. I post my videos, but it's just amazing what I captured. All those, I look back at them every night for the last week, and you start tearing up because it was so fucking cool and so fucking special.
It was so fucking
so
cool.
there, so now, just it makes you feel grounded. It makes you feel safe. It makes you feel fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Pictures with Blade. I mean, it's just amazing what happened and what we captured, and I can't wait.
So. Riding that, and then we're dancing in a way that her and I have never danced together before, and they go into Prince Caspian. And
That was
if you guys don't know, like just before they go into the song, what's going through my head is like, I've never ridden the wave like this before. I've never felt this way. I feel like I'm in the ocean, and I'm in this wave, and like I'm riding this wave. I could feel it rocking us. And then they start singing Prince Caspian.
And you and me weren't talking, and I was thinking that exact same. I was standing up, I had stopped moving, and I was like, I feel like I'm standing on the helm of a ship on the ocean, and I can see the waves because I'm still got the visuals going, and it's dark.
And the crowd starts singing, "Oh, to be Prince Caspian and float upon the waves." And I was like,
"What?
I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done right now." Yep. That was it. I'm selling all my shit and following Phish, and when they're not fucking touring, I'm gonna talk about it. Like,
and it's incredible that you would mention like a ship, because now, like before you said that, reflecting on it, for what I felt, because that can be pretty intense at times, and I like to channel my own inner realm and whatever. And sometimes I just needed to be reminded to come out of that. And so when that song started, it was like Aaron's energy, but I can't say Aaron's energy because it's like he was a literal vessel. He was a boat on top of all the energy, just above it, like as if you had your hand in the waves, you know? And it gets choppy at times, but you were able to just float. Mm-hmm. And I was in the ocean like a newborn fish or something, just like, oh shit. But I saw your boat and I climbed on, and I was just like, oh shit. Like, wow. Like,
dude,
I don't know how to condense a lifetime of experience in a single show.
Check this out.
It's a lot.
When Phish did 13 shows at Madison Square Garden.
The Baker's Dozen.
I've heard of it. They did the Baker's Dozen, and one of the nights, they turned the stage into a pirate ship.
Oh.
And flew a Phish flag with this like crossbones, black Phish flag from the stage. It was I think this might be a theme.
Did they must have sang Prince Caspian during that.
I don't know. I haven't listened to those shows.
Probably. I think we should watch that show.
So yeah, that's happening. And Blaze,
this is actually,
I really, honest to God, it's so weird to hear you say what you just said, because I felt all that happen. And when stuff like that happens, like, I don't know about anybody listening, but I have a tendency sometimes to tell myself that it's just in my head, right? And you and I have never talked about that.
We did.
But we did.
Bro, you did.
But to hear it said out loud is like,
Not telepathically.
yeah, super cool. And
It's affirming.
you and I had, I said this about you at Set Break. I said, Blaze might not have much to say out here, but he is like a fucking megaphone telepathically. Dude, you have the clearest psychic voice I have ever heard of anybody I've met, ever, period. And you and I were sitting together at Set Break, and I had my arm around you, and you had your hand on top of my head, and you and I were talking, and we weren't saying anything out loud, but you and I were talking, and at one point I thought to myself, this whole thing is happening in your head, and I felt you like slap the shit out of me.
I've done that to my friends. I don't do it on purpose, but they have told me
it
the
was
same
good. It
thing.
wasn't bad. It was like, like, how dare you? You know, like, you fucking boom. And I was like, oh, okay. Like,
He is like
the teacher has
strongest.
become the student. Like, fuck, man.
Blaze is like the watching you with him, Mel with him. There was many moments that night that we had our moment when you were playing drums on my back.
And at the end of
He
the
is
show,
like the oldest soul, but still like the most clairvoyant child you have ever met. He can look. He looks it deep into you. That's yeah.
Yeah. So we get to Set Break, and at this point, I'm feeling like a little kid at Christmas. Like, yay! Everybody's here with me, and I'm here with them, and fucking we just opened all the presents, and we're getting more presents later, and fucking. But I'm in a 46-year-old body that like needs to sit down and drink water and rest for a minute and pay attention, and so I'm sitting in safety third, and so we sit and this Set Breaks
That's for you, Jim, if you're listening.
seemed like it lasted 45 seconds, 50 seconds. What was it, like 45 minutes?
45 minutes. It was like 46 minutes. I timed it.
So they come back out, and I don't remember what they opened the second set with. Do you? I want to say I want to say it was Tweezer.
I can look it up. We
Tweezer.
need to because
It
I don't know
is.
if we skipped
It
over
was.
the
I
whole.
feel
the
like
whole mind your
a lot of things
fucking
happened.
shoes.
I know. Aaron keeps
in
skipping
set list.
around.
Hey,
in Set
nobody's
Break.
saying anything,
Sorry,
so
guys.
speak up.
You just like scoot right past it. No, like there was a
That
whole.
was the
There were
first
like
set.
many
The
things that happened
mind
during
your
the
shoes
the
thing.
Set
That
Break.
was first set.
Mel giving Blaze Reiki during the set list. That was I had my hands on your head.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
List, but I'm glad I didn't because the whole thing was just one linear experience. Like, like
For the way everything happened, like
There's no
it's falling perfectly into synchronicity is what it is. Like my thoughts, my own whatevers are within me. It's so hard to put.
Spit it out,
It's just
man. You're doing fine.
it's tension, and within the whole first half of the show, it was just me like being frozen, and then slowly just thawing and thawing. And I've done psychedelics at a show with you guys before, but I wanted to know
What?
like what it feels like to experience it naturally. And this is something I've wanted since the first show, you know, just to attain that psychedelic state of just complete higher knowing. This is all, the whole show is a holistic experience for me, and I knew that from the time I went, because it's scary to change, like. And so I'm at the show and I'm thawing, and there's still that little like lump of secretion, the stuff that just builds up within you.
Calcified.
Things you can't break down on your own, which is why you go to these shows and you connect with others, and in the hands of family, they help you break that last little piece down So that's like my way of like that part of the show. That's what I felt
the
during that part of
Reiki?
the show, during the Reiki, because Mel is helping me control my breathing and my heartbeat, and I'm like getting into my own world, and I'm listening to Aaron, and he's talking to Tommy Tacos, but he's also talking to me, and it was just crazy. Like it was like I was really at that point starting to be introduced to everyone's individual wave, but as a unity. And in myself, losing myself. And I have my hand behind me.
You became part of the family.
Yeah.
Came.
Right.
Just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, deeper.
Yeah.
And then the next half of the show came on, and it felt like I had been reborn. Like it was insane. Like they like no one knew when they were gonna come on, right? Or we did, but we also didn't.
but
and
rough estimate.
you stopped raking me. You guys stopped raking me. You know, and Ryder, I'm like lying in Ryder's lap, and he has my head in his hands, and he just like lifts me up, and I feel like my whole he lifted my entire body up from the ground, and as I stood up straight, the next song came on. And I was just like, actually, that's not what I was like. I didn't have any time to think or separate myself from the entire experience. At that point on, I was just like, I was with it, and I was with everyone, and it's incredible. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
it was the set break. Okay. So I had a tooth thing going on because I kept putting off going to the dentist, which is a terrible thing to do, and I've learned my lesson thoroughly. So set
Have
break
you?
was a little sketchy
Have
for me
you?
right at first. I had to find ibuprofen, and I'm like going around asking everyone for ibuprofen.
Hi, I'm on acid. Do you have any
I'm on acid, and I
ibuprofen?
gotta get ibuprofen.
Hi, I'm on acid. Do you have any ibuprofen?
And I went up to Murph actually because I knew she was the most sober, and I was like, Murph, do you have any ibuprofen?
Because
and she was
Murph
like,
is the one
no,
to go to.
why would I have ibuprofen? I'm like, that's fair. Can you help me find ibuprofen?
And if you give that girl a task, she's gonna fucking.
I left for like maybe technical difficulties.
I'll fix it.
We need a new cable for this thing.
You what? You left for maybe what?
She was like, okay, I'll start asking, you start asking, and I asked one person, and she goes, and I hear, Ryder, and I turn around, and I walk up, and she's like, I asked these 20 people, and they didn't have any, but this lady's got some. I was like, how did you do? Did you
God
time
only
travel?
knows what you took that night, my friend. You're gonna just take
No.
pills out of a stranger's pocket
I
at
totally
a Phish
was.
show.
Yep. No, but she was like, no, I get really bad migraines, so I always keep these pills on me. And I was like, okay,
Yeah, me too.
dope.
Here, take these 3. Here,
Uh-huh,
this one's
that's-
blue and this one's green. You'll be fine.
morning.
See you later.
Hell, I needed it. And by the time I sat down, when Mel was giving Blaze Reiki,
That's when the ketamine kicked in.
yeah, and I couldn't feel anything
Just
at
kidding.
all. No, my tooth pain faded.
Okay.
And it was,
Now,
now we're at
Now it's
the.
Apple's OCD time because we wanted a first set recap.
Hell
I mean, that's why
yeah.
they're
So, first set recap, we started off, as Aaron said.
Party
with
time.
Party time. And that's in some of our video.
Spit it out.
Punch You in the Eye came shortly after. That one went out to
I
Melanie.
think that was my favorite.
Then we had Mike's song. I Am Hydrogen. Wickapaw Groove. Infinite. It's Ice. The Divided Sky. Which
Oh, I
was
forgot about
fucking
Divided Sky
ama-
at sunset.
That was a sunset. Even Trey, the whole band stopped and let the sunset do its fucking thing.
I gotta say
Yes,
about
they
Phish,
did.
Okay.
they
You
are
were laying on the lawn
I
with your
forgot
eyes
about that whole-
closed.
Phish are masters of the pregnant pause.
Yes.
I was laid out.
Masters. They stop the jam to a dead stop and let the crowd fill that place with energy, like pouring it into this big cup until it's just about to overflow, and then suck it up and use it in the
Boom.
jam. So fucking badass.
And to me, I know we're all new to Phish.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this was it was like Divided Sky and a Cavern,
Oh yeah.
and then Set Break.
Yeah, man. So, I'm gonna say this too.
I think you're good.
It's tough, man, to
Sorry.
to think about 30 years of Phish music happening and not listening.
On the bus.
Not listening. And I put out a newsletter today about it because hopefully somebody else will jump on from reading that. And I just know that for so long, my experience and everything I did was colored by having the label of Deadhead.
Yes.
And everything I did and listened to
We built a wall.
has been made. How do I say this? Everything that I listened to with Deadhead ears. And if it didn't do that Grateful Dead thing,
Yeah, that comparison that we both
then I
done
would just dismiss it.
forever.
And it was no good. I wouldn't give it a chance. It was bullshit. And doing this show has been the catalyst to the thing that has broke that down. But at this show, when Tweezer came on,
Huh.
I lost that label.
Wait, hold on. We're not to second set yet.
Yeah, we are.
What are you doing? No, I haven't even.
Oh, you,
no.
you
didn't say the-
you did skip out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All I
Yeah.
gotta say too is that reaffirms what I said earlier of having this not in any way young and like you're whatever. Melanie, Ryder, Blaze, this young blood.
yeah.
In this situation has opened my eyes so much to accepting new music and not putting it in a box, a genre, and being labeled. The people
Yeah,
we
man.
Putting
interview.
it down too.
And that's
don't
it.
put shit in a box. No expectations, no boxes, no
Just,
genres.
yeah, just going and letting it be whatever it is and seeing what happens. And I really feel like I lost any label that night for myself. Like, I am a fucking fan of music.
You said it in something you wrote to somebody. When I saw that, Aaron wrote, "Fucking, I am no longer not that I'm no longer a deadhead or anything, but it's like I don't.
It doesn't
identify-
matter,
I'm not
is what
putting
I
myself
wrote.
in a box. I am Aaron.
Yeah.
That was the line. He said, "I am Aaron.
Yeah, man. I found
We
myself.
are us."
I found myself waiting there for myself.
I feel like it was like in an earlier podcast we were talking about our relationship and how when you were heavier you would always put me in front of you, like in the pictures. I felt like that's what you did with the Dead too. Like you put it in front of everything.
Everything, yeah.
Especially yourself as an identifier of who you are. And like that's the last thing I would introduce you as, my husband, the Deadhead. Like, because when I think about you, like you are an artist, you are a musician, you're freaking super smart computer dude, you're a cool dad. Like there's all these things that you can't really, like you can't put in a box, and you would always do that. Like this is from Melanie's eyes looking at you, and at that moment when they played Tweezer, and like we'd been joking about it because I called it Tazo Tweezer, and so now it's always going to be Tazo
It's a
Tweezer in our
catchphrase.
house. And we were talking about Starbucks and eating a drink and whatever, the whole thing. And when that song opened with Second Set, and like that was when it was your and I turn for the concert.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, like
And that made me very happy because I wanted a tweezer.
Yeah. And I want to make sure everybody out there that's listening understands, like, I am eternally grateful for everything that my life has been because of the Grateful Dead. And that music is my soul. That's part of me. That's part of the whole. It can never be separated from me. And it's part of my life forever.
They're
That's
still
just
the
the way it is. But
grandfather
to
of
be
everything.
call myself a Deadhead or a Phish head or anything head for that matter, it makes me less. And I never realized that about, and I'm just saying this for me. I'm not saying this for anybody else out there. Like, this is for Aaron, and you guys are hearing it. Like, for me, it caused me to put everything in a box. If it doesn't do that for you, awesome. Do what you got to do. But I'm saying for me, it did that. And at this show, that went away. And that was huge for me and for Mel and for all of
That
us.
was part of
For
the
all
law.
of us, I gotta say, okay, this is something too. With Aaron as my brother, I'm older than him by a couple years, but I've always been one step behind him. He usually is fucking doing the things with the Grateful Dead back in the 80s and the 90s. He's I'm a little retarded or something. I don't know, but he's always like, dude, you're missing this. And what happened to all of us there? I mean, through everything, Dead and Company, which we still have to do a recap of. God damn it. And High Sierra Music Festival on into Phish, which was mind fucking blowing. And what I saw happen between Aaron and Melanie, Melanie, Blaze, Aaron, Ryder, the pictures I captured, it is so fucking magical and life affirming.
That's what
we are here for a purpose, and what we are doing with this podcast and you guys listening and meeting you guys when we're out there,
my
having
God.
people come up to us.
Wow.
This is the most amazing thing, and I think
Apple's been drinking.
yeah, I have been drinking. I'm fueled by stout tonight.
That's
We already
not
said
even
that.
anything.
I love you guys so much, and that goes to everybody sitting here on the patio with me, and everybody listening, man. Fucking the people listening to us. Fucking, it's just, this is amazing. I never thought, none of us thought this was possible.
No.
Of what we're doing, and I can't wait to meet every one of you.
Yep. I said in the newsletter that I sent out today that
I still have to read that.
I saw each one of my family using their psychedelic gifts, their power. I saw it. I saw it happening, like, individually, as a whole. Like, it was the coolest fucking thing. Like, as a grandpa or a dad or an uncle, like, to sit back and watch the whole family doing their thing. Holy shit, man. It was fucking powerful and rad. And I realized that, like, everybody there is doing that, using their shit. Like, okay, not everybody, but a lot of people there
Most.
are fucking doing their thing. And it just so happens that it happened at a Phish show. And I know that before I listened to the Grateful Dead, it sounded like fucking noise. And then I went to a show, and all of a sudden it didn't sound like noise anymore.
Well,
and
back to what we know in depth, but when we saw Trey at Fairly Well,
yeah,
and there is something we all talk about that. We were talking about that earlier. It's seeing a band live that fucking makes it fucking happen. When they are not in the studio under pressure, it's the live, when they're being themselves, and that's the truth, the honesty of being live. It's go see live shows.
yeah,
Go see Phish.
yeah. Go see anything. I mean,
but go
it was
see
funny
Phish.
because during the show, I look over and my little sister-in-law, who is sober as a judge, is fucking grooving to Phish. And I danced over by her and I go, "See, Jesse? See why we do this all the time?" And she was like, "Yeah, I want to do this all the time." And she goes, "Def Leppard and somebody else are playing here in a couple weeks." And
Journey.
and I go, "Jesse, not the same thing."
She also really liked the venue. She really wants
Yeah.
to go back to the Gorge.
All right,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Just because of Journey, if we had Melanie's mother here, I
my
would have the
God.
best time of my life at the Gorge watching Journey.
Speaking of Melanie's mom, Golda did. She called it. She called the whole trip.
She.
Oh, Golden Age.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh. So,
Golden
right
Age,
before
Golden Rolling Hills.
Yeah, the morning of the us packing up to go to the Gorge, my sister brought over a couple things that my mom had sent in a box.
Shout out Susie.
For both of us, and so she sent us like coloring crayons and like conditioner for my hair, and one of the things was an adult coloring book, but the theme was gold.
Yeah, so instead of like black outlines, everything's gold, like shiny gold, and it's the coolest coloring book ever.
With the llama, it really had amazing
A dope
pictures, and so
owl,
not Apple, Ryder wanted to color it, at the tent under the beautiful moon and stars. Yes, influenced, and so me and my mom and my sister and everybody in our family has a joke. My mom loves gold. That's her favorite color, but my mom doesn't call it gold. She calls it golded. And so she sent me and my sister golded coloring books. And so we were joking about that upon departure.
We had like, that's the theme for this one. It's golded.
And that my mom is with us this whole trip. And we bumped into so many golded songs, all the way up to Phish singing Golden or Golded Age.
Golded Age.
And at one point, Aaron and I had like unglued ourselves from each other, and I look up at Apple, I keep calling you Apple tonight. Sorry,
the same person.
But I looked over at Ryder, and I said, Ryder, golded, and I looked over
right
at Jesse,
after
like it was like the split second.
She goes, look, Ryder, golded, and they go. I don't remember.
I don't know the lyric, but the second
Age,
after it left my lips, he sang it, and I looked over at my sister, and she looked at me as he was saying it. So we all had like this like triangle of knowingness of golded, but it wasn't a triangle because Trey was saying it. So
It's a square.
So it was like this. The whole night I had a connection with everybody, a personal and a group connection, and it kept on sparking through the entire
fueled
night.
by Phish.
And let me add something real
in
quick.
my head.
Our journey up there and back, it was weird. We liked traveling as a family. I missed being in the car with them.
Yeah.
But it was Melanie, Jessie, her sister, and Ryder
Oh my God.
In one
in
car.
Melody's car, and then me and Aaron in our car,
In the smoking car.
And it worked out. When we first left, I remember we were like kind of bummed, like we're not together. Blah, blah. So by the time we got out to the gorge by the Columbia River here in Portland, it was like, okay, this is perfect. Me and Aaron bonded. We had a bro moment the whole trip there and back, and we're the older dudes, and they had their car with the. All I know is looking in my rearview mirror several hundred times, making sure they were behind us. I saw arms in the air, feet out the window, fucking
Feet out the window one time. My feet were out the window one time.
whatever
maybe
with your big
5
fucking-
minutes.
Okay, when your feet
Ham
weren't out the
hock
window,
hanging
your
out the window.
gorilla fucking arms were hanging out the window. It looks like they were going to scrape
It
on the
looks
fucking
like they were
concrete.
transporting the Sasquatch.
The weather was
And it was-
beautiful. What was I supposed to
but-
do? Not stick my hands out the window?
Despite all the gorilla talk, it was the cutest thing fucking ever, dude. It was
We
just
were
great.
having such a good time. Like, we were like, thank God we get to control the music. And we were like, it was a theme. Like, the music, and it was on shuffle. It was on fucking shuffle, and I had no control over it. And it was.
Me and Aaron listened to Dead the whole way.
Yeah, well,
And
we
it was-
were like, yes, we don't have to deal with the smoke. We can play what we want. We have all
We
the
had the
food.
smoking and
We were just
non-smoking car.
All the snacks.
So when we very first got into the show, we all took off our shoes and put them in a big pile.
And, okay,
and I turned around and I looked at Ryder.
Even before he says this, because I have never been high on acid before, not like that. So I was like, I didn't want to wear my shoes anymore, and I put my shoes in the pile, and I was like, Apple, please, God, don't let me lose my shoes. I don't want to walk back barefoot.
And I
please.
turn around and I look at Ryder
And
and
I
I
had
go,
your
hey,
back. I'm very responsible.
hey Ryder, whatever you do, take care of your shoes.
And I'm not like a fish.
And he had
fish head,
no
and
clue what I was
like,
talking about.
And I just finished telling Apple, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take, like, that's what
So
I'm doing
when they're
right now.
coming, when
Way
they're
ahead of
coming
you.
to the lyric in the song, I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna happen. And everybody sings it. And I turned around, I looked at Ryder, and I was like, whatever you do, take care of your shoes.
I was like, what is
the
going
fuck
on?
just
They're in my head.
That's what I realized about Phish on this one too. It's like an instruction manual. As you're there, high, having fun. It's so simpatico. Fucking, it's just you're plugged in together.
And Aaron and everyone that's seen a Dead show back when Jerry was alive, I've been teased about that my whole life. I'm like, you're gonna go to a Dead show and it's gonna narrate your life. And we go to all these Dead shows. I'm like, it was an amazing show. I loved every second of it. But it wasn't like clairvoyant or anything. I don't know what you guys are. I think you guys were just too high. And then that night, oh my god!
When we got home and we were in the kitchen, I was like, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that. And okay, so like we said earlier, I got laid out. I was laying down on the show or on the lawn.
Yeah, you were laying on the show.
I was laying on the show.
Yeah,
literally.
That lady that kept showing up. So I was. I'm sorry. It just blows my mind.
And she would talk to us.
She
too.
would. Okay, I was talking to
30 times.
Alex about it. I didn't understand a word she said the whole time because I was already.
Me either,
I was
Ryder.
already going before she when she first showed up. I heard and she's super animated with her hands, just going. That's what I heard.
That's what we all heard, brother.
Yeah. So I was laying down and I thought about her for a second. And
Don't do that. Don't ever do that at a show to bring her back.
I know. But I was doing this thing where I would open my eyes and then close them, and the snapshot in my vision would like turn white and then go rainbow and fall inside of itself. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And one time I opened my eyes for half a second and she's standing over me going, I was like, what the? Anyway, I had to. That was my favorite part of the whole show.
I was talking to Ryder at one point during set break, and he stopped me, grabbed me, and looked at me in the eyes. He goes, "Just quit speaking words. I don't know what you're saying."
Well, because I was.
How dare you use something so base as
It
oral
was.
communication?
Everyone was already talking to me. I was
Yeah.
like, why?
Why are you
keep
using
making
those
sounds
stupid
at me?
mouth
It's
noises?
distracting. Stop it. Your mouth keeps moving, and I can't keep focusing on it.
I can't listen to two conversations from your same person at the same time.
Yeah.
I gotta pee.
Let's eat dinner.
Also, yeah,
I
like
gotta
it's food time.
So, yeah,
Good dinner.
we ate
Wow.
dinner,
It's a
and Mel
great
peed,
dinner.
and
I peed for like 2
And it-
weeks.
It's been about 5 weeks.
yep,
It's now August 4th.
we took a break.
September 4th.
This
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode
There-
needed to
that
simmer
was
a little bit.
September. Oh yeah.
So we're continuing. We stopped a few minutes ago to.
He just pointed something out though. It's September 4th. We were just saying it's been a 2-week break. It's been a month.
5 weeks.
It's all right. Time is relative, man.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna hear it all in one shot. So.
yeah.
There's a lot that's happened between the time that I hit stop on that computer and right this very second. There's a lot of shit that went down.
Many
But
things.
we were talking about the Gorge,
Yes, we were.
and we were towards the end of the show, and I've realized now from listening back to the recording that, my God, man, we weren't going in any order. The Prince Caspian was in the second set, and it was like 5 songs in.
5th song in the second set.
Yeah.
And you convinced me that it was the first
Yeah,
set.
it was the second song in my head. That's all I know.
It was dark.
It was
when
dark.
That song came on.
Whatever.
It was real
Sunset
dark.
was pretty. Yep.
It was.
Yeah. I will say that I think the Gorge is my very favorite place I've ever seen a concert.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
That's
show.
hard to beat.
that is really hard to beat. And I've never been to Red Rocks. I've never been to Shoreline. I've never been to a lot of places, but the Gorge, like with all of us there, like captured a moment in time that just cannot be replaced, no matter how beautiful a place is.
And I may have been aided by some things, but that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. Still, like, I mean, it's been a month.
I know.
The most beautiful thing.
Yeah, we're
Hands
still,
down.
so we're still
Just
weeding
like
over
the
it.
landscape, and then you add Phish, and you add a party, and you add the most perfect weather that you could ever imagine, and these incredible synchronicities and experiences that are happening, and looking over and seeing my sister, who is the cutest little thing in the universe, just so happy to be like, literally, she really was just happy to be there, be camping, be with us, be at a concert. Like,
And she got on the bus with us.
she sure did. She got on the fucking bus.
And even this past weekend, Mel and I went to Denver to Dick's for the Friday and the Saturday show. And Friday night, Mel videotaped some of the glow sticks flying around Dick's.
Harry. It was Harry.
Can I just say, is the best thing that happens at any concert. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other concerts with things that happen most of the time. That's the best thing to
Yes.
happen at a concert.
Yes.
It's
it
really
is.
fun. And
Yes, it
Mel
is.
sent that video to Jessie, and Jessie started
I
crying.
posted it on Instagram
Yeah.
and tagged her because, I just, first of all, it was a very crucial time in the evening for me to be handling my phone, but I did it. That Friday night show, I was probably on my knees, like writing in my journal for 95% of the concert.
Yeah, I mean, I was up dancing for most of the show, and I would just look over, and Mel was down there just scribbling away, like going at it. The pages were flying, ink was splattering everywhere, and Mel was just furiously writing through the whole show. And I'm thinking, she's never going to be able to read any of that.
I
Like,
did. I am. I did better. I took
did.
better
I know.
notes. But what I was just gonna recap was just I had to get my phone out for that moment because I was like, Jessie needs to see this. She's, just that memory of the first time, and like I kind of remembered / forgot about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen, but you still forget.
And that's the thing. I was going to say, Phish has the way they have that way of like channeling their fan. You start to feel that build up before it. It starts building like quite a bit before it, and then it builds up and it builds
it's
up.
a crowdgasm.
Yeah, it was
and when it
stirring up.
blows up, it's just
Accurate.
Yeah.
It is
It's
a
a total crowdgasm.
That's true, babe.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not just at one show, man. That's their deal.
And it's not just at one part of the country.
No.
Everybody, everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Everybody.
everybody in the Phish tonight.
Going into the lot after Saturday's show at Dick's
Well,
was probably one of the most fun things I've ever done at a concert. Like, Mel and I
party.
were still rolling deep, and the show ended, and we went out into the parking lot, and there was the Brothers Brass Band?
Brass Brothers.
Brass Brothers
They
playing
were hooking
fucking
it up,
jamming marching
tearing
band.
that sidewalk up.
And I swear, I think I danced at every location at Dick's, including the desert next to it. Both camping lots, the parking
Guys,
lot.
I've never seen Aaron dance so much. His little butt must have been so tired because
dance
he, like, on Friday. First of all, they opened with Free, and are we getting into this or not? Well, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Okay.
think
We're being hard on ourselves. We're like, should this be in
we
order?
kind of said what happened. We pretty much covered the Gorge show and how magnificent that was, and a whole lot happened between. And then you guys are just capping off the Phish tour by going to Dick's.
Before
and
we get off the Gorge, shout out to the people that we saw at the end of the show that night, whose names I forgot.
Awesome. Way to go.
Well, but
The-
okay, look, check this out. Stuart.
What are you talking about?
We met. First, we ran into the Dominican Republic dude.
Oh.
Oh
and-
no,
and
I
then
thought it
we-
was Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. I'm
his
not good with
girlfriend.
details.
Yeah. Oh, and his beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All those peeps.
Yeah.
Hi to all those peeps.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
I,
forgot your name.
I
It was-
hope if
it was a month
anybody.
ago.
Well, I don't know how
Also,
to
I
describe.
didn't know your name. Before.
Yeah, we didn't know your name.
Sorry,
but
I was spun.
and everybody we meet, they know we're at a show, and so we tell everybody, please, if you're any of those people out there that we've said, reach out to us and listen to the
yeah, come hang
podcast.
out.
Reach out.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
It's-
This is. I haven't started, but on that foot. Apple said, reach out, come to see us. Shout out to Dobie, who constantly finds us. Dobie, who constantly finds us. And now you're like Waldo. We want to find you wherever we
and
go.
We were just at Cosmic Toy, and we said that on the last one too. Ashley and Dobie.
Yeah, we did. But okay, so sorry, we're jumping around. Back to Phish. Friday night's show, they opened with free, and Aaron and I only had tickets to Saturday night show, and we were gonna go see the Higgs. So we went to the lot to go. Like, our thing was just gonna go see the Higgs. Well, right when we get to the lot, I start seeing. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me that there was going to be people with tickets there. Like, for real, it did not even click. Of course I know that happens, but it didn't. I was like wrapped up in us. You know what I mean? We were like, it was cute. Me and Aaron were having a cute time. So anyway, I see these people with just like tickets. And so in my mind, I was like, well, if I see one person with a ticket, I can see two people. And you guys, we posted that live stream on Instagram, and that was real. What you saw was like the middle of it happening, and I just wanted you guys to know that Phish is responsible for a lot of amazing changes that happened with No Simple Road like this summer.
Yes, it is.
So, like Mel said, we planned on going to Saturday's show. And when I booked the flight, I
This is a thing.
I put in Friday, and it came up midnight, and I was like, oh, cool. That's Friday night at midnight.
Friday at midnight.
Yeah. We'll land Saturday at
Friday at 12 a.m.?
4:45. Shut up. We'll land 4:45 in the morning on Saturday, go to sleep, go to the show, come home on Sunday.
Friday at 12 a.m.
Thursday morning, I get a text from the airline saying, you can check in for your flight. And I was like, oh, sweet. They're letting us check in a day early.
Friday, 12 a.m.
And so I check in and I do all the stuff. And I'm like, look, Mel, I got whatever. I'm checked in. Here's your boarding pass. And get in the car and start driving to work Thursday. And then it dawns on me. Wait a minute.
Friday, 12 a.m.
Midnight is tonight. Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
And Aaron learns to use a clock.
Whoops. So we weren't even supposed to be there on Friday for the show.
No.
So we both just told our works, hey, we're leaving.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What happened.
Yeah, I can't dispute that.
And jumped on the plane Friday morning at midnight.
12 a.m.
And got there at 4:45 in the morning, slept for a little while, and went to the lot. And our whole thing was, we were just going to go to the lot and hang out for a while and go see the Higgs and
going to do that, the Higgs,
whatever.
yeah.
And when we got there, everybody's selling tickets, and I looked at Mel. I was like, "Do you want to go in tonight?" And she was like, "Depends on how bad we want to go, if we're going to get tickets or not." And we took like 3 more steps, and there's this guy selling tickets. Like, I only had $72 in my wallet because, again, we weren't planning on going anywhere. We were just going there to buy swag and hang out and eat and look around. And he's like, you know what? I got 2 tickets. Tonight's your lucky night, guys. Go on in. Have a good time.
That's not how it happened. It's something like that. The guy was holding up one ticket. And he was like, I was like, how much you want for it? He was like, $50. And I was like, oh, Aaron opens his wallet. I was like, shit, we don't have that much cash. He's like, well, what do you got? And Aaron opens his wallet, and there's $72 in it. And the guy goes, well, I have another ticket. And I was like, what, you do? And he's like, yeah. I was like, for $72 for both? And he was like, you know what? If it's your thing to be in the show tonight, then who am I? I'll take it. And I could tell that he really wanted more money, and we would have given it to him, but if we had it, but he fucking just gave us 2 tickets for tonight's show for $72, and I just immediately started crying. I was already like emotional. I was like, we were gonna go see Tommy Tacos, we were gonna go see the Higgs. Aaron and I were having this cute little romantic getaway. It was gonna be a fun show, and then the taco thing.
Well, the crying thing too. I just got to
Okay.
say that was awesome because we didn't know what you guys. They left us behind. We were wondering, like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And then that's how we found out that they were getting into the show ourselves, which a lot of you probably saw the post on Instagram of her just crying. That was so funny. Aaron's going, okay, Melanie, that tell the people why you're crying.
Apple goes, did
That
you
was
see Mel
awesome.
crying? And I was like, what? No, what happened? He was like, I haven't watched it either yet. I just know we got to watch it. So we sat down and watched it.
I saw it for a couple seconds. I was like, okay, this is a thing. We got to sit down and be ready to watch.
As soon as she started crying, I was like, oh, this is going on Instagram.
And I'm crying. I'm not.
No, it was like elated, overjoyed.
Yeah.
Freaking,
Well, I couldn't
it was
help
awesome.
it. I could the second we got the tickets and I looked at the face of the ticket and saw how beautiful they were and saw that we got it.
Were
like
they different? Picture?
Well, yeah, it's a lion
we gotta
or
frame
some,
those too.
a tiger.
What do you
Not
call
a
that
tiger.
black thing? A
Panther. Okay, sorry.
We gotta frame
that was
We
really
gotta start
bad.
taking pictures of the stuff we framed from all the shows we're going to.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sorry.
anyway, so I hysterically laughed and cried, and we were like, well, fuck, we're still hungry. After that, like, emotional roller
I
coaster.
just spent all of our money.
And we just spent all our money. We're like, shit, I don't know if they've got an ATM here. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, whatever. So we just start walking. All of a sudden, Aaron's like, Mel, over here. We see Super Heady Tacos. So we go on over to Super Heady Tacos, and I was like, I think I have $4. I might have like $3 or something. I opened my wallet. Super Heady Tacos was $4. And we had $3.75.
I had 75 cents in my pocket.
And I was like, holy shit.
I'm like, Mel?
I was like, I'm not going to jip them out of money. That's fucked up. Like, no, I want to give them what they are giving
I'm like,
us.
fuck that. It's family. You just go up there and tell them that you only have $3.75 and you need a taco.
And I was like, that's
Yeah,
not
little
cool,
piece of
babe.
meat.
Well, while we're in line debating this, a couple, like two rad dudes, just walk off behind us and was like, hey, man, you smoke the kind of cigarettes that I smoke. Can I have a bum a cigarette? I was like, for 25 cents. It's yours. And he was like, all right, I'll take that deal. And I was like, yes. I was like, hell yeah. And we were next in line. So I order our food. He gives me not only 25 cents, but 50 cents. So I give them a 25-cent tip.
Oh, snap.
And we get our fucking taco. Well,
While
it
Mel's
wasn't,
getting-
yeah.
while
While I was waiting for my taco, Aaron's doing this.
While Mel's getting the taco, I turn around and Tommy's right there. And I go over and me and Tommy start talking and fucking, Tommy's the man. And he's like, do you guys have,
Tommy is the man.
tickets for inside the show tonight? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, I got some. Boom. Laid those on us and fucking there we go. We're in for that. And off we go with our taco and we start walking around the lot and we're hanging out and it's almost time to go in. And we just stopped like where everybody was getting ready to go in. And me and Mel just hugged and she was like, so what's the deal? Like, what's going on? And I said, I don't know, man. Obviously there's something in there for us. There's some reason that we're supposed to go in. So let's go. And we cruised in there and it was cool. Like Dick's is cool because if you're not on the floor, all the general admission, all the stands is general admission. So depending on when you get in there, you can pretty much
you go
pick
sit
anywhere
Okay,
you
that's
want.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome because we always have that problem at show. Like when we were at Autzen, we all had tickets spread everywhere and people are coming up going, those are our seats.
Yeah,
And
that did
that's right.
suck. That did suck.
We found pretty
Autzen-
good seats at the end, though.
That was
Up at
you made
the-
me
up at the
remember
tippy
that.
top.
That was the only part of the show that I kind of was lame that we couldn't all be together. But
But
that's
then we
fine.
were.
Yeah, but
We
it was
were.
so
We
cool.
all danced
We didn't
in
even
the,
recap
like-
that show, so you guys don't know
I
that
was
yet.
gonna say, you'll hear about that in February on the Autzen recap.
You guys are getting a summer recap. It'll be fine. You'll get it.
You guys, oh my gosh. So anyway, we chose to sit. Now it's section 130, but
Page
I
side.
what?
Page side.
Page side?
Yep.
I don't know.
Down by the stage.
Okay,
page.
whatever.
Keyboard.
Anyway, so that's where we were. And we met some really cool people there. Chucky made a dive into our luggage before we left and held a knife to our throats and demanded that he take us to go see Phish.
Scared the crap out of me in the car. It's like we're leaving to go, and you put it right on my shoulder. I'm like, ah, Jesus, where did Chucky come from?
We were all looking at the when you posted him in the airplane, like he's hijacking the airplane. I was like, holy shit!
I sat down, and I think the lady's name was Kathy. That was sitting
Kathy
and
and
Jim. They were sitting in front of us, and they had scooted back one row because the guy in front of them was talking about politics. And she wasn't having it. So she scooted back and she sat down and she said hi to us. And she was like, is it okay if we sit here? Like, the people up there were talking about politics. And I was like, yeah, it's totally fine. And I reached over and pulled Chucky out of Mel's bag. And she was like, well, that's not creepy.
She did back up. She backed up a little bit. I was like,
These are
Chucky's
your options,
fine.
lady. You either got politics or Chucky. Choose.
I said, this is what you call a bag of tricks.
So I had to explain the whole thing to her. I was like, okay, look, I'm going to make it not creepy. We have a podcast. Our sponsor sent us this thing. We're taking it to shows with us. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to take a picture of them, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. So we ended up grooving with them the whole show. They were totally cool people. And so,
Sweethearts.
hi, Kathy. Hi, Jim, if you're out there.
Hi, guys.
But that show, like Mel said, after all that happened in the lot, like everything came to us just magically. And then
I know. I mean,
they open up with Free.
Yeah.
And it was off to the races that night. That show was fucking...
Well, it was just the Free was just like the literal stamp on confirmation of like, you guys can have $1 million or $1 and you're going to get taken care of no matter what. That's what it was. And then they open with Free. Like, those were the thoughts that I was like jotting down in my journal. Like I had so much like dictation to take about what was happening in these moments. And so literally after I danced my butt off to Free and maybe the first couple songs, what was it? Harry. I was grooving for Harry too. That's when I took that video. What's the use? Blaze on. Yep. See, I think I was already on my knees by that time, like on my just writing, and they sounded so good. So Friday night's show was my favorite of the two that we went.
I
At
had
least
been,
the first set.
during the week leading up to the show, I was sending Mel, I had been listening to Talking Heads, and I had sent her Cross-Eyed and Painless during the week, and then they just busted out with it. I was like, holy shit. The Martian Monster at the end of that show was fucking awesome, that encore. And I don't even really remember after the show that first night. It's kind of blank, to be honest.
I mean, I just know Lyft was involved, and that's really all I know. Getting like up to the hotel room is like literally like boop. Like, I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember leaving the show. I
remember leaving the show. I don't remember getting to the hotel and getting up to our room. I don't remember that.
I remember the next morning. I remember Saturday morning. We were sitting out here. I was wondering, like, I want to know if they had a great time. I want to hear. I knew you had a great time. I was like, I want to hear about it. And then you guys called me. FaceTime me, and they're just laying in like the nice hotel room, that beautiful bed. You guys looked so comfortable and at peace and high. You're just like, your faces were just like, hey, and then you tell me all that you guys just all heard.
Yeah.
So we slept all day Saturday, most of the
got
day.
Up and had
we
breakfast.
got up early and ate and went back to bed and then got up and showered and went back to the show and ran right into the Higgs and John and his wife and Garrett and all those guys and hung out with them for a little while.
Hey guys, sorry we didn't make it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next
Well,
time.
see,
I
that
promise.
was another-
Me and Apple will be there.
That was another point why Free was poignant that night, because so we see John and we were like, oh man, we don't have wristbands to the RV lot. John's like, yeah, it's been a little bit tighter security this year. I don't know, whatever. So Aaron's like, well, we walk away, and Aaron's like, well, at least we tried, blah, blah. And just in my mind, I just was like, fuck that. We came to see, we really, truly did come to see the fucking Higgs. Yeah. They were talking about the bracelets. Like, I know that they jam. I wanted to dance. That was it. We wanted to see them. And so we leave the show, and at the end of the show, Aaron this is the second night, so we did not go see the Higgs the first night, and both of us didn't want to be honest. We wanted to go. So anyway, the next night, Aaron and I were chilling, letting everybody go out of the stadium, and we were sitting in the very back row, section 112. I remember that. And we were sitting there watching everybody walk up, and Aaron sparks conversation with this dude named Brent. And I didn't know anything about this.
So
I was in my own
me and
world.
Brent start talking. He's like, hey, man, why don't you guys come back to our camp with us? And I was like, oh, I'd like to, but we don't have wristbands. He's like, oh, we'll wristband you guys in. Well, there's 5 of us. We'll go in and send a couple people out and give you guys the wristbands. You can come in. So we hung out with them and went through the whole shakedown, danced, fucking looked at everything,
That's when we saw
tripped
the
out on
Brass
posters
Brothers.
and danced to the brass band and did all that. And then sure as shit, Brent fucking hooked us up, gave us wristbands. We went into the lot, walked right to where the Higgs were playing and hung out with them. It was just like boom, boom, boom.
Well, I just have to say, too, that cute little moment when we were just walking aimlessly because we didn't know where the Higgs were. We just were walking. And we were walking, and then I walk around like the big speakers. And right at that time, John was about to jam and, like, you know, go up to the mic, and he looks over. And we had just seen each other at the front of the show saying, yeah, you know, we don't know how we're going to get in. And then we turn around and lock eyes, and the smile, like, John's smile is always my favorite. You know, and it was just so they were freaking doing Casey and the Sunshine Band, Get Down Tonight, like that, anything Casey and the Sunshine Band, period. But then them doing that, funking it up and jamming it up and grooving it up, and then his beautiful wife is like with like I can't remember if hula hoop, like a little neon hula hoop or something. It was fucking heaven. It was to an amazing show.
During the second set, there was something that happened that made the weekend for me. Like on top of all of that and all the awesome time you and I spent together and everything, like this was like the cherry on top of all of it. I'm up at the top. We were in the last row, and I was behind the last row seats dancing and just super high and really grooving. And this brother walks up, and me and him start dancing together, and I could feel him, like, it felt good dancing with this dude. Like, him and I were in sync and jamming together. And then he hands me a joint, and we were smoking the joint together, and I went and I gave him a hug, and I went to introduce myself to him. I was like, hey, man, my name's Aaron. And he goes, shit, I know who you are, man. You're Aaron from No Simple Road. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, man. My wife and I just stopped by to get a drink over here, and I saw you over there, and I was like, fuck that. I'm going to dance with Aaron from No Simple Road. And it fucking, like, being high and that open in that space with that happening, it fucking blew the top of my head off. Like, I almost started crying, and I, like, looked at him. I was like, you just made my whole night, man. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, holy shit. You walked over here because of that? And I was like, and it felt good having you here. Like, don't leave. Stay here. Keep dancing, man.
I do have to say, his wife, she was also Spanish. She was Mexican, and she gave me the best hug. I have had it in a really long time. Like, she was like a heart and chest press hugger, and like super soft skin and such a sweetie. Like, that was a good hug. So they made Aaron was like so elevated after that. Like, he was like on fucking top of the world, and he should be, and it was freaking cool and fun. And we also had another sweetheart cutie sitting next to us, Chris and his crew, and the whole night and the whole weekend and the whole summer, it has been magic upon miracles, upon dreams being fulfilled, upon blessings. Like, it's
So
I don't
much.
even know.
And that's what I want to talk, because since the beginning of this, the recap, the Higgs thing, which we'll have to add into the whole thing into the summer recap, but in between the Gorge and them going to Phish and seeing the Higgs in the parking lot at Phish, it was almost like a private concert from the Higgs when we went down to Boone's Treasury, McMenamins in Salem, and a little tiny bar, and it was so fun. We got to meet all the guys, Garrett, David, Jesse, John, and hang out with them, and we helped them tear down their
Oh my
equipment.
God, that was the funnest
We were like
part of the whole
roadies
night.
at the end of the night. It was amazing, and we'll have to go way deeper into that on a summer recap.
Well,
I mean,
also, I recorded that whole show, so I'm going to
Yeah.
put that out for everybody here. Just them performing at Boone's Treasure.
They did like a 5-minute No Simple Road.
that was. I mean,
It was.
you guys, it was incredible. Like, first of all, the food was amazing.
It was the perfect little dinner night with the perfect.
We had a
show
date night. We had a
special-
No Simple Road
we had
date
a
night.
No Simple
That's
Road date
what it
night.
was.
And
What we're
the
saying is
Higgs played
no Simple Higgs.
No Simple
Night Where
Higgs.
our families like
No
melded.
Simple Higgs tour.
They geared us up with merch. We all loved our shirts.
They played our theme song.
They played our freaking theme song, like not just like. Ryder, you have to tell that whole.
Okay, so
I mean,
we're gonna do a little mini recap.
Okay.
A Higgs
why not?
recap.
We're
It's
doing
a
it.
5 minutes in
Yeah.
already.
Control this.
So we went through the whole first set, dancing and having a good time. The first set started. We just sat down to eat dinner, and the song comes on. It's pretty chill right at the beginning. We're all grooving, eating some food, and everyone gets a couple drinks. And sorry, it doesn't. Wait, fuck! I lost it.
Anyway, we finish eating and then
Thank
we
you.
go for a little break. And then we go outside. Ryder and I are smoking. And then I was like, that'd be so rad if they played No Fucking Simple Road theme song.
We're whispering to each other.
Ryder and I are like in each other's ears, like talking on the other side of the hedge.
And they're still playing inside.
They're still playing. They
We
could
went out
not
for like
hear
a
us.
little joint break.
Yeah. So then we're done with our little joint. We walk back in, start grooving in. We were dancing on the way in. We really were. We were there for like 3.5, 4 seconds before they started.
Everyone had come in, and it was the first time we'd all gotten back together as a group and started dancing, and immediately, No Simple Road.
And there was like the people that worked in the bar, the Higgs, us, and like
like 3 couples.
three couples, yeah.
the smallest
At the beginning,
show they
it
ever
was
played.
one couple and 2 other individuals.
Yeah. I mean, it was a private Higgs, No Simple Road.
And they didn't know what was going to happen.
No,
They
they
didn't
had
know what was
no
going to
idea.
happen. They said it's the smallest gig they played, but it worked out perfect because it was so.
It was awesome.
I mean, I don't care if it was to just us, literally. It was freaking grooving.
Yeah.
And then they're.
They covered some Dead for us.
Oh
they
my
did
gosh,
things
they
they usually
did.
do.
a Dark Star
for us, yeah.
They don't
They
do that. Don't ask for
did.
that. That was special for us.
We love you guys.
We love you guys so much. But yeah, we helped them tear down, and
We got to lift all the heavy shit. It was fun.
oh my gosh, Ryder was
Ryder's
so
hired.
Bam
I
Bam
even
was
I
excited.
started stealing the equipment from the fucking plays. They were like, "Those aren't RPAs, man."
We did. We loaded up everything in the.
Jesus.
We're making double work
Can't
for them.
take you guys nowhere, man.
Hey, all this belongs to them? All right, here, just take everything.
So it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
It's been a long
"Hey,
summer,
sorry."
man. There's been a lot happen. There's been a lot that's gone down, and look, let's just be honest. There's been a lot of tripping and a lot of concerts and a lot of podcasting and
A lot of
a
life.
lot of changes have happened.
A lot of life outside the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's been a lot this summer.
Another monumental event, which is gonna be has to be on the next, is our J-Rad trip to Eugene,
Oh my
staying on
gosh.
Jesse's
Awesome
fucking
farm.
farm in Vida. Oh my god.
Yeah. So a lot. It's been a lot. And that train just is continuing to gain steam and continue going. Our daughter's coming home in the next week and moving in for a few months to have our grandchild here at the house. She's not going to actually have the baby here at the house, but she's going to have the baby while she's here. And yeah, there's a lot going on. There's more shows coming, and Bob Weir and Wolf Brothers are going to be playing here in Portland, and we're all going to that. And in a couple
You'll
of
get a
months,
recap of that one in 2020.
you will get a recap of that one the day after we will record it, because we're here at home and we won't be traveling.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that's what happens when we're traveling. It's really hard to recap the day after.
Come back after your long ass journey and be like, all right, we'll
Yeah.
set up and I'm just
so
gonna go
tired.
take a nap.
Yeah. So, all the stuff that we haven't talked about is coming, guys. Like Eugene Dead and Company, that was just one of the most monumental experiences ever.
Yeah.
We haven't even told you guys about, and that's coming. The
That was
J-Rad
June,
is coming.
June 29th.
Mel and I went to see Ioto,
my
and that's
gosh.
coming. And
Mapache
Mapache
at the Pacific
and Grateful
Studios, which
Shred.
We did an interview.
Yep, that's coming. Kevin Calabro is
That'll be
coming
up
up. That'll
next.
come out next week. He's the manager or publicist for Chris Robinson Brotherhood and Circles Around the Sun and Mapache.
Howlin'
and
Rain.
Howlin' Rain, and an awesome dude.
Yeah, really
And
cool
learn all
guy.
about
Yeah,
him
you'll learn all
real
about
soon.
him, and he's cool, man. That guy has been a super friend of the show and has become a friend of mine, and I was super honored to interview him with you guys and have him on the show. It was really cool, and I'm excited for all you guys out there to hear it. So I know we've gone long, and this is a long episode, but there's a lot happening, man.
We like it.
We like talking about things that happen to us and stuff.
Seems
Yeah,
like
well, you
people like
guys-
to listen.
You guys know by the name of our show, No Simple Road. Like, we're not gonna be the every week or the perfect 1 hour episode, or we say shit on the show then we forget about it.
We'll
and
try
then-
for every week.
We're gonna try, absolutely, but life it happens, and so sometimes planning it is harder than not. So we're going with the flow, and you guys are coming on our No Simple Road, and you guys are a priority. It's super fun to do this, like, because we get to recap and talk about and remember our cool vacations and concerts, but just know that we are human, and
To
Aaron
quote a
needs a
great
little bit
man.
of a break sometimes.
To quote a great man, when you blink, time happens.
My son said that.
Yeah.
He also said rabbits do things you don't see.
Both are just the
Yes.
truest facts I can think of at the
I've
moment.
also told him to get his head out of the urinal and to stop licking the dog.
Look at the dog there.
So, yeah, that happened
He
too.
was very
That's
low for
balance.
those first
That's the
two.
balance.
No, you know what? I can honestly say, for the first time in a really long time, really glad that it's a couple of months before there's another show. Really, really glad.
That's what we said about a month and a half ago when we didn't have a whole lot on calendar and every weekend is filled up with something.
Well,
It's gonna happen.
I'm putting my foot down.
No,
No, I'm
No
not.
means no.
put his
I'm
foot
really
down.
not. I'm not putting my foot down, but I
put my foot down.
There's no shows
There's no
coming.
shows. I'm not going to shows while this baby is going to be around. It's not happening.
okay. Anyway,
That's like,
I could just see Sydney being like, "Well, I'm going to that show."
yeah, right.
Hey,
Sydney,
you stay home.
you're staying home with the
Well,
baby,
right,
Grammy.
with the baby. That's true. That's true.
All right, guys.
I know what I want.
Yeah, so this is exciting times coming, and
Yeah.
of course, throw in Thanksgiving,
Oh my gosh.
Aaron's birthday, Ryder's
Christmas.
birthday's coming.
Oh my gosh, Ryder's birthday is tomorrow, you guys.
When does this come out?
Melanie.
Tomorrow.
This comes out tomorrow, so my birthday is tomorrow
This
when
is
this
Ryder's
comes out.
month.
Yep.
Birthday
And then
month.
Melanie's got October. Aaron's got November. December's Christmas. We're gonna get a white Christmas again here. You guys made it snow last year. We're gonna make it snow again.
Yeah, No
If we
Simple
can
Road
just
family can control the weather.
Yeah,
Shit.
if we can get a head start on that, let's
Bob
let's make
Weir
it a
can
white
do it, we
winter.
could do it.
Yeah, let's make it
Shit.
a white winter. If you guys want to just start already asking for snow,
Guys, everybody that's out there that's listening, you're part of this family, and we appreciate you
so
guys,
much.
and we love you. And like I said, man, meeting you guys in person is one of the coolest things that I've
There was a
experienced.
few people this weekend.
Yeah.
We didn't mention everybody, but I'll tell you what, Aaron and I were in Denver, and we weren't staying with like friends or anything. We were staying in a hotel. We didn't rent a car, but when we got to the lot, we kept on seeing people that we knew, like the guy that we were dancing to the entire time next to at the Gorge, Stuart. he had like had sunscreen in his eye, and his eye was like irritating him, and so he had to run up and like wash his eye out. But we were all talking to him and having an amazing time. Aaron and him were hugging, like all this cool shit, and I'm waiting for that taco that I was talking about earlier. And he was like, "Hey, I remember you from the Gorge." I was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "But I don't remember your name." And I was like, "Me either. I don't remember yours."
Yeah, that's-
So we reintroduced ourselves, and now I know his name is Stuart. And he was like, "Things are so much better." And, you know, it was just super cute. Like, so we see that. You know, Aaron's talking to Tommy. We bump into John. Like, a few people at the concert said hi to, you know, Aaron mentioned that couple, and there was somebody else. I know there was.
There's a couple people.
Yeah. So you truly are making it feel like family
Everywhere.
and that is amazing, and I'll like tip my hat to the internet for that.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram, guys, and that's where you can find out what's going to be coming up. And follow us on Facebook if that's your thing, because we put stuff up there too. And head over to nosimpleroad.com for all the past episodes. And remember, when you're posting anywhere, use the hashtag NoSimpleRoad, and the most 20 recent No Simple Road hashtags will show up on the website, and you guys could see what's going on with each other, and it's cool and fun. And we also have the merch tab up there with some shirts left and stickers, and the family tab where you could sign up for the newsletter. And I just sent out an email today in the newsletter, and feel free to answer if you're not on the newsletter. Basically, what I was saying is, ask in the family what you guys want to hear from us. What do you want to hear us do on the show? Excuse me, guys, I have something in my throat. Do you want to hear us just hanging out on the porch? Do you want to hear more interviews? Do you like what we've been doing? Do you want to hear more shows that we record? Do you have ideas for guests or ideas for the show itself? Send that stuff in to nosimpleroad@gmail.com, and we'll read it and take it into whatever under advisement.
Well, you
Take it into our
Consideration.
collective mind.
Yeah.
And swirl it around in the soup that is No Simple Road's
We're
brain.
gonna write them all on pieces of paper and draw hats every episode.
Draw hats?
Or draw.
I don't
yeah,
wanna
we'll
draw
hats
hats.
out of a piece of paper.
That's hard.
It's gonna be
That's
hard.
I don't want to draw hats on pieces of paper. What did you mean, Ryder?
I meant we were gonna draw pieces of paper out of a hat.
Okay.
Put all the topics in.
Okay.
This one today.
We'll do that. That's fun. We can do that. But yeah, send the stuff in, man, because it's not just us here. You guys are here too. You're sitting there listening to me talk, and you're part of the family too. So if you're part of the family, you should have a say in what happens on the show. It's simple. That's simple. This is No Simple Road. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're the no simple part.
Yes.
You guys.
You guys be simple.
You're making this very difficult.
I don't know. I'm confused
It's
now.
our job. It's the no
It's been
simple
a long
road.
month, man.
Totally confused now. I don't even know
long
what
summer.
the fuck's going
All right.
on.
It's September 4th. What do you mean it's been a long month?
It's 4 days. Dude, these 4 days.
4
man.
days in, it's been a long month.
2 of those days were spent out in outer space already this month. So
That's fair.
it's been a long month.
That's fair.
Fuck. When I woke up to go to work this morning, I thought I was going to die. So, fuck. It was a long day.
That's fair.
I'm all better now, though.
Good.
All right, guys. We love you. And we'll be back this weekend with Kevin Calabro's episode. And Ryder blew you a kiss. And Mel, say something nice.
Something
I'm all
nice.
out of- I don't know, you guys. I said everything I needed to say. I was gonna say that. No,
That's why I just blew a kiss.
this at first when I started the show, I thought of it like I had to share Aaron's time with like whoever was listening. And as it's progressed and it's over a year old now, I feel like we all get to share this amazing life that we live with you guys, and then we get this amazing feedback about the cool things that you guys are doing with your life. And it really makes it feel like I'm hearing from like my niece out there, or my aunt that's having some cool trip, or my crazy uncle that's, you know, still on the road after 30 years. Like, it's super cool to it's just a really cool thing that Aaron started and that you all are helping us keep up. So I guess just thank you.
Apple?
And ditto.
Oh.
No, everything else. The only thing I have to add is to what we kind of touched on is to the listeners. Every time we go to a show is more exciting, and part of that is not the band. It's knowing we're going to see people that we have met and new acquaintances. All you guys, the family. We meet more and more people at every show who know who we are, and we're loving to get to meet all of you. It's just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like Aaron said, that one with the guy dancing. Every show we go to, all of us have mutual experiences and then ones on our own when we're drifting around of running into people that listen to us, and it just makes us feel so good, and we love you guys, and there's a lot coming up.
Yeah, guys. So take care of your crews out there. Take care of each other. Remember, safety third. Hydrate. Drink water.
Be cute.
Be nice. Hug a stranger. There's lots of kisses happening. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Osiris.